Thank you. Yeah, culturally is very amazing. Actually, I love those songs from Ruweng. One more time, I apologize. Actually, it was not hackers. Actually, I talked to my providers, the cell phone company. I talked to Facebook. There was no hacker whatsoever, on my account. A fee update with Apple. There was an update, but I did not do that update overnight. That's why I have slowed down our process and so I am so sorry. So galule mafi hackers at all because my account is the most secure one. I did secure it before with the Facebook, so they assured me that there was no hacker whatsoever on your account. That's why it took me a long time to come back. I don't want to leave anyone out because we already have conducted the interview. Lakin, right, and that's muhim jidden jidden. I want to listen to your perspective as well. That's why I came back. I know that it's really, really crazy, but we got to do this. So I apologize to you one more time, and I apologize to Mr. Spokesperson of Vice President Taban Dengai for the disruption that we had, but we managed it to conclude that interviews anyway. So now it's your turn, my dear brothers and sisters, the followers and concerned citizens of South Sudan, to come forward and instate your perspective as well. So let me go ahead here. And I was unable to get you on. So I see that there is a request now. I'm going to go ahead and get you data. Hopefully everything will be okay. We don't want to go back again with the same problem that we had. I'm calling you now, Sabata. And it looked like it's finally is good. I apologize. There was an update. I didn't do an update. That's why I have this problem, and I regret it. why they sent me a message overnight and I did not do an update. I just went right away. I didn't have producers, I didn't have a cameraman. It's just only me, right, doing everything. So I apologize. Welcome to Concerned Citizen of
It's
South
okay.
Sudan.
Thank you very much, Jongkor,
Mhm.
for welcoming me to your show.
Mm.
You have been doing a very great job, and I also want to thank all the viewers who have been patient with all this confusion.
Mm.
And I also want to thank Brother Agel, who spoke eloquently
Mhm.
on the issues that you have actually raised to him.
Mm.
What I would want to just say is I actually got into the show a little bit late when Agel was actually rounding up,
Mm.
but I heard last thing that he spoke about institutional reforms that they are working on, and it is this that I would like to talk a lot on and share my views
Mhm.
with your program.
Okay.
You see, Brother Jonkor, what I would want to begin with is to say this, that if I come to you today, Brother Jonkor, and I say, hey, Brother Jonkor, I am Sabata, and I am assuring you that next week I am going to deliver A, B, C, D to you, it is very normal that what will run through your mind is you will assess my capability and my capacity
Mhm.
to really deliver that I'm promising to you. Okay.
Mm.
I am saying this because Agel now is saying that of course, he is an SPLM. He is now saying that SPLM is assuring people that reforms are coming, institutional reforms are coming. Now, the question that we, the South Sudanese citizens, should start asking ourselves is, do we really trust, do we, the South Sudanese, trust that SPLM political party will deliver institutional reforms? Do they even have the capacity, the understanding to deliver these institutional reforms? I personally, and I'm sure with so many South Sudanese,
Mm.
would say no. SPLM does not have the capacity to deliver institutional reforms. This is one, because of their ideology, what I would elaborate on. And second, they have already been tested when they signed ARSIS in 2015,
Mm.
when Dr. Riek Machar went to Juba in 2016. And
15.
Taban Dengai actually did lead the delegation, and Agel was also with them. And they were going there to implement a couple of protocols that they have signed, the security arrangement, power sharing, and some series of institutional reforms, including transitional justice,
Mhm.
of which the High Court was going to be
Form.
formed.
Mm.
But if SPLM was really a party that wanted institutional reforms to be done, they shouldn't have distracted that peace deal to continue. They could have just allowed that peace deal to continue and have the institutional reforms be done, and people just get over with this issue of peace once and for all. However, what we have seen is SPLM has distracted the process of the peace process in 2016,
Mm.
and that took us back to square one. And when it took us back to square one,
Yes.
we found ourselves again going through the circle to again talk about revitalizing artists that has already been killed in 2016. And if you remember very well, during those days, the SPLM party even didn't want the artists to be revitalized if it is not for the fact that they have been pushed against their will and were made actually to come to the round table to discuss. So SPLM did not even have the will to revitalize RSAs. So I'm not quite sure if Agel talks about SPLM now becoming ready to perform some institutional reforms, when have they become interested in doing this? A couple of months ago, I really doubt it. Uh, So with that being said, Brother Jongkor, I really doubt if SPLM are ready to carry out with the institutional reforms that Agel has been talking about. Another thing that I would say that would contribute to the fact that SPLM does not have the ability to do institutional reforms is their ideology. You see, SPLM think from the time they took power, from the time they took control of the power of the state in 2011, SPLM party did not allow South Sudan to establish a government where issues of institutional creation of institutes should be deliberated in the parliament, and technocrats should be brought in, because forming, by the way, building the network for institutional reform demand technocrats, because it's tricky. For example, if you want to build a network for or institution or that deals with healthcare, for example, you need technocrats in this area. If you want to build a system, a network of a system that deals with education, you need technocrats in those areas. SPLM, the only institution SPLM thinks they know how to build, I think, is just the military institution, which is the military sector, which they are not even good at, because they always furnished the military sector with some tribal militia here and there that are being sponsored supplementary to what is called the national army, which has always caused insecurity to the people. So SPLM, when you look at their ideology, they have always looked at themselves as though they are even above power of the state. You see, I remember I asked you to go and watch. There is a testimony that Dr. Riek Machar gave. That was the last testimony that he gave before the incident of 2013 happened in Juba, when he was talking about the problems. I guess those are things that could be counted as one of the root causes of the problems. When he said that the SPLM secretariat decided to send leaders of the SPLM to go out to thank the people for standing behind the SPLM through the process of referendum, and also through the process, the 21 years of the war and all that. If you listen to him speaking, you will understand typically the ideology of SPLM, because he was actually telling, as he was accusing SPLM to have lost vision and direction based on what the people are saying. He was saying that, well, they have asked the president, Kiir, that they should convene as SPLM party in order to talk about this, so that they deliver services to the people as the people wish. But that the Kiir refused doing that, and they said they went to a convention where they discussed two issues. They discussed about the manifesto of the SPLM and the constitution. And he said in the constitution there are so many controversies, of which he spoke about how elections are done. They wanted elections to be done by secret ballots, and SPLM wanted elections to be done by raising hands. He also spoke about how the structures of the SPLM are all constructed by the chairman, of whom only the chairman gets to be elected in a convention, SPLM convention. And he was actually saying that this is making SPLM not look democratic, and if SPLM is not democratic, that will have effect on the society, because eventually the government is the lack of democracy within the SPLM is going to be practiced in the government. Now look at such kind of an ideology, Jongkor. Why do you think? Why should it be that if there is lack of democracy within the SPLM party, it should translate into lack of democracy in the country? Does that make sense? Imagine you and I, we have been living here in the United States of America. Now, if Democratic Party or the Republican Party decides to become undemocratic within the parameters of their party, does that then translate into the fact that American government becomes undemocratic? It doesn't make sense, does it? But to a leader of the SPLM like Dr. Riek Machar, and I'm sure so many of them, those are how they see it. They see SPLM to be that political party that is responsible to construct the entire government of South Sudan, which shouldn't be the case. One political party cannot construct a state. No. A state has to be, the construction, state evolves. It evolves slowly as members of the Legislative Assembly members always come together, they caucus, they gather at the parliaments, and as they put out some committees that constitute or that comprise of technocrats to construct a particular thing that they want to deal with. This is how slowly by slowly institutions get formed. But one political party cannot decide that it can do it all. And this is exactly what SPLM seems to think. They think they can build the entire institution of the country, which is unrealistic. That is why, again, I'm saying that based on the ideologies that SPLM has, what Agel was saying sounds good, and I like the way Agel thinks, but it is not feasible, it is not practical, because SPLM actually wants to be in power such that they will be the ones responsible to construct all the institutions that Agel was thinking that were going to be reformed, but those institutions are not going to be reformed. Besides, when you look slowly, fixing those institutions is actually against the interests of the SPLM, because when you start fixing those institutions, what does that mean? That means there's a likelihood that check and balances will start to come up amongst the government sectors, and eventually that will check corruption. Do you think SPLM wants corruption to be checked? I doubt it. That is one. Second, if the institutions become strong, the likelihood that those who have actually perpetrated those incidents that resulted into the incidences of 2013 are most likely to be brought to justice. Based on strong institutions, those people will be brought to justice. Do you think SPLM want justice to be implemented? I don't think so, because they know themselves they will be in. And in fact, as a matter of fact, Jongkor, that is why SPLM distracted the deal that was signed in Addis Ababa in 2015. They distracted it in 2016, and they made sure when they were pushed again to go back onto the table to discuss what is called the revitalized transitional government of national unity, they made sure that power now is in their hands. They have more of the seats, be it in the parliamentary seat and be it in the ministerial seat, because they want to ensure that institutional reforms don't happen, and they want to make sure that things to do with hybrid court don't happen, because they will be the majority there, and they will be dictating what is called a resolutions throughout as issues are being argued in the transitional government of national unity. So in conclusion, what I would like to say is, Agel spoke eloquently on that area of institutional reforms, but none of the things that Agel has spoken is practical and can happen. None of those things can happen under the watch of the SPLM.
Thank you so much, Brother Sabata. But anyway, yeah, we gave that interview. Unfortunately, the network was giving us hard time, but he spoke. I cannot go ahead of the time. Let's see what is very important to me right now. I want them to be inclusive, to include all the other factions who are not part of this. But you know what? Let us see if they are going to be really implementing this, if they are going to reform the institution or not. I hope so. That will be the case. But anyway, thank you, brother, for coming on and, airing your perspective as well. Please stick around. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
All right, let me go ahead and bring other South Sudanese who are here as well. I saw, Madud, you can send in your request as well. And there is something here always, I keep saying that, listen, we can agree to disagree. You can agree with your brother. You can disagree with Sabat, you can disagree with me, but it's not necessarily if I disagree with you and then what I'm saying is bad and then what I'm saying is negative. No, people disagree. That's fine. The way you see it is different. I can make point, you can make point, but I don't want anyone feel threatened by other person's political point of view. That's not it doesn't make sense. when you are feeling threatened, I'm going to go ahead and bring you, and I want to give opportunity to everybody, actually, because now this conversation is started. Like we see, Yom, I saw you also, you requested, I'll bring you in. Let me go ahead and bring Madut, and I'll bring you in, Yom, as well. So, Madut, I want to take water. Please accept that call.
I can't see
Yeah, I
you.
am here.
Where
I
are
told
you?
you I'm going to get water. I'm here, Madut. So, like
Hello,
I said,
Jongkor,
we
brother.
can
How are you doing?
agree to disagree, right? No problem with that. Go ahead and add your
Nala,
perspective as
you know
well.
what? It's great to see you live. I'm so happy with Jongkor. I'm really so happy to see you live. I call you many times, I'm sure you are busy. I want to tell people here we don't have problem. We are a brother. We are a family.
We don't have a problem, and I'm glad. I'm glad too. You hear it from the spokesperson of First Vice President, Mr. Agel Machar. He said, actually running away from us, we concerned citizens of South Sudan, it's not a solution. But you guys, the support of Zakuma, you have been campaigning that no, our leader should not come, should not come. I don't know for what. And a couple months back, you guys say Jongkor doesn't bring people from government.
Jongkor, I'm a concerned citizen.
I know. Okay, go ahead now.
Jongkor, listen to me. Jongkor, listen to me carefully. I am a concerned citizen. Okay, I took a gun. Okay, for more than 7 years because I'm concerned what the hell is going on in the country. I was not happy in the system in Khartoum. I'm a concerned citizen. If you talk about concern, I should support to talk to you. And by the way, we are being a good friend. Okay, we have been good friends for a long time. So I'm concerned.
But actually,
you said what the hell is going on in the country.
You said you don't want the government official to come to our show. You said that, but again, this is
no. It's not like that way. No. In a personal conversation, I ask you to bring Mokwenilwe. Okay? I ask you also to bring even Lily. Okay? Lila call. If Mokwe, I know Mokwe is very busy. We talk a lot about these things.
And if they don't want to come,
the difference between me and you,
if they don't want to come, what do you want me to do?
Listen to me. No, okay. It's fine with me. But the problem is when you say that you are concerned and you are just focused for one side, that's the difference between you and me. As a concerned citizen, you should focus for both sides. See what is wrong here and there. But all the time, you blame government, and for you, everybody who support government is a stupid. And that is it. This is
no, I didn't say you are stupid.
Okay, yeah, that you said. You said that. You told me in live video I have recorded, and this video I will save it for my kids. You said that, brother Martin, you fell yourself down because you support Kir Miadis. According to you, somebody who support government is very stupid, and that's wrong, brother.
I didn't say stupid. What I say always, I say don't mix things. I want you, brother Madut, to know that SPLM is a party entity. Government is for the people.
Haram
Listen.
Are you telling me that history?
No, I want to tell you something. I know you know. I know you know.
I'm a SPLM. Are you going to tell me that? Haram I'm not somebody from. I'm not that guy.
No. The reason I'm saying that.
They are the Michel attack. That's how the Michel attack Jongkor. It have got the girl claim of us. You put people down. Think that
no, I don't.
And they don't know everything. Yesterday
no. The point I want to make, brother, listen to me. Listen to me. The point I want to make, I want those who support government to differentiate between the government and the tribe, because when I
already.
Yeah, no, they don't know, because
the government is no Denka, the SPLM is no Denka. Even that you are wrong to talk about tribe. You are wrong.
You know why I say that?
You are very true wrong. Don't listen to me. You should listen more than you talk. This is very important.
When I
say to be a model leader.
When I said these policies are wrong, of the government are wrong, you guys take me I am criticizing my own tribe.
No, I'm lying. Come on,
and
come
that's
on.
not right.
Asa, will Daigal and Zalan, Asma, will the Galan and Zalan?
Go ahead with your point.
I'm talking to your uncle. Gulo, hi, uncle. Sorry.
Go ahead, Madud. I give you a chance.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Jongkor, Asma, this discussion, we need actually room. In the problem, you have a problem. You have a psychology problem. And I will talk to Dr. Malong to help you because you thought that people are thinking wrong. And you only the one who know everything. And that's your big problem. You thought that when I defend Kirmiadi,
You accuse me I have
when I talk
psychological
about
problem?
Kirmiadi, no,
Oh my
let
God.
me talk. Let me talk, brother.
Okay.
Let me talk. We are brothers, and this country is bigger than you and me. When we talk about country, we should actually be careful. Ita mat nazim so ta nas madagul as kalamta umbara ga da kilma gubel swal da inta sal gubel brother spoke farsal umbara wonu so bor fi modo matter. You are very wrong. You are very wrong. Ma zo gar fikra afkar zato. Wan mar bito biji afkar men wen. Al hukuma da ma hukuma ta kirma yadi. Ma hukuma ta denga wala hukuma ta Equatoria wala hukuma ta Shuluk wala Zande. Sudan. If you take a look, one day I make a video.
You guys are making it look like that, and that's why other communities they think actually into Bitgulo.
No.
It
they're wrong, command. The Afkar Kula. Ita Awulaja Taba and Nazir Bisaidu. In the Muslim brother Attilo of Canada. The guy is very creative. Nazir Mufur Tekalalo in the Muslim Dora Bunit. Those people are very great Awulians. Ita mungkin Tekalalo and if you show Diana, Fina Bikar Kalamai, Gulek Dudagal, Matamun Kida. You don't ask anybody. You go live and you think that what you think in your mind is that fickle thing. That is absolutely wrong. You are my brother. I want to tell people that I don't have problem with you at all. Okay? Anna, Secretary, but that Jing community in Copenhagen. And we ask Uncle, not to come to your show, not because we hate you, Jongkor, but because some people are misused. I'm an Lam, Wala Kaleji, I can say, in the Latin Walaya, who Jenki Council. Yaki Jen Council Maokuma Yaki. Maokuma. That's so, according to Denga interest, we ask him not to attend your show. Not because we hate you, but because we want to protect our community. And we have a right to do that. Thomas Sirlo is to protect his own community. Young Machas is to protect his own community. Shuluk is to protect their own community. Mazi Ed in there. Mazi Ed. But now, as a not the time about I do play, Galinta, Betekar Jongkor, I'm not Karag, Munawul Sagin, Miloli State. They are not Fishinian. Tell them, yeah, they are wrong. What I mean is, here, Lakin Uncle Joe, Mashakal Makuma. This is the point. Number two,
forget about Uncle Joe. I invited him, I talked to him, and he accepted. And he, don't worry about him. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jongkor. Jongkor, you did a great job, believe me. And as government support, أنا داير تجي في شغلي لأنه نحن من خلالك بنعرف كل الأطر بتاعنا. أنا نظام بتاعنا في SPLA لازم تكون قريب مع العدو عشان تعرف كيف العدو بيتصرف. So I like that. You bring those who are against peace, so we can see actually what they want, and then we from there we take it. ده ما في مشكلة. أنا داير أدي شكر لك أنت برنامج عليه ده برنامج. أنا شايف ناس. Some people are not they are not too much there because they're in Maligo. Like the interview was great, and I really appreciate you guys as a young politician in South Sudan. One of the Junubin, South Sudan Bekhair, South Sudan Bekhair. One of the President Kirmayadi, Uriang Mashar, Warnas Kubarkulu, Adi Fursa Le Shabab. Alekum Mala di Fursa Le Shabab, Jongkor and Brigadan Kalam to Mark. Butula has interview Jongkor. Mamunkin Kirmayadi Yiba Guzir Sahab Elab. Jongkor and Kalamta. See, I want to tell people how much I so love you.
That's
so
not
much.
what I am here for. That's not what I'm here for.
Personal conversation.
I have a question for you.
We need intelligent young people to be implemented to implement the peace agreement. I told them, wasn't there a good video in يا ناس كبار ادي فرصه للشباب لانه جنوب السودان بخير. انت شفتوا الانترفيو بتاع جونكور وبعد بتاع مشار كان it was amazing interview and I like that. Thank you so much جونكور. لكن انا ما
اسمع كلام بتاعي. انا عندي question لك.
forgive
انا
me
عندي
لو في
question.
حاجه انا قلت حاجه بطال. ها
عندي question لك. Are you ready?
What is that?
Okay.
Of
now,
course. All the time.
Okay. The spokesperson of first vice president, Mr. Agel Ring Machar, he said actually
I'm
the
listening.
government official supposed to interact with us. عشان هنا عندنا concern، شعب عنده concern. ما مشكلة، المفروض هم يجوا وانت قاعد تقول no ما يجوا. So رأيك شنو في الكلام ده؟
You know what, Asma? You know, the government official, they don't have time, yeah, Asma. People are very busy.
No, I know they don't have time. أنا سألتك رأيك شنو؟
With the CNN, listen to me. I don't have problem. Even myself, I talk to Mokwe. I asked him Mokwe, even at work, I say
you don't have problem.
You should
you don't have problem
respond
campaign
to those
who
are against peace. No, Uncle Joe. No. You are wrong here. Uncle Joe is
an official.
Not working with government.
He's a member.
Joe
No. He's a member of parliament. He's a member of parliament. He's a member of parliament. You don't know that?
Listen to me, Jongkor. Asa ite fi America, take the time interview le parliament. Matek the interview. Fi America, ite matek the time interview le zota parliament fi Facebook Live. If it's not allowed in the US, why is allowed in South Sudan? Come on, man.
Munugaleg is not allowed in US.
Denmark, we are not allowed to talk in politics.
Okay, thank you anyway. Thank you, Madut, for coming in to air your perspective as well. Thank you. It was good having you.
Brother Jongkor, tell your views that between you and me, we are brothers. We don't have any problem. You know, this country is bigger than us. I'm a concerned citizen. I took a gun for more than 7 years because I love Sudan, South Sudan, and I love everybody to talk about peace. And I hate everybody don't talk about peace because peace is a peace. As
you don't hate people.
You
don't hate people for disagreeing with you.
Thank you so much, brother.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Madut, for coming on and airing your opinion. But I want to tell you, you don't hate people for having different point of view. That's not good. You know, that's fine. But don't hate one for having different opinion than yours. You know, Damakwis. So let me go ahead and see who is else here. So we can move forward here. It was good having you. Send in your request, ya Jamal. Okay. Makera, I will bring you. There are some people that requested and then again they withdraw. Let me go ahead and bring Maror. I'm calling you right now. Tong Maror. You go. Actually, you are next online. I'm gonna give you a chance, Yom, and then after that, I'm gonna go to Tongmaror and Mariana Tik. She's here as well. We'll give you a chance too. I'm calling you, Yom. Go ahead and answer that. Hello, good to see you, Yom. How are you?
I'm good to see you, brother Jongkor.
So what is your perspective? One more time, I apologize because our network has some issues today. I did not update the new, Apple, whatever, X. And that's why we got crashed multiple times. So now I want your perspective, Yom.
Okay, thank you, brother Jongkor, for inviting me. And I just listened to some of the people that hear their perspective views, and I was really wondering because most of our people, especially we the South Sudanese, intellect, we prefer violence or resorting, to kind of disagreement sometimes instead of one really taking time and you can hear your views in a very, in a very respectful and a very organized and formal way. So that's what really disappoint me. Coming to the general discussion, Jongkor, which part of our discussion that would you like
Actually,
me
I don't
to
know
talk
if you
about?
listened to my interview with the spokesperson of First Vice President, Mr. Agel Ring Machar. He was here, and I interviewed him for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I want to get your perspective from that. What is the takeaway, and what is good about it?
And unfortunately, Jongkor, I did not listen to Agalamachar interview with you a few minutes ago. So I just give me a kind of an overview, and then I will share my thoughts and my
Okay, I see
perspective
that.
views, so that
Okay, I see that. Actually, we talk a lot. I asked a lot of questions, and he answered. So I'm not going to go back and answer this question, but I can ask your perspective, because the proposed topic of today actually was what the top leadership can do to avoid another crisis in near future. That's what we have been talking today. So you can give me your perspective from that, and then we move on.
Okay, thank you, Jongkor. And first of all, I would like to appreciate everyone for staying up and turn up for this discussion. What I would like to say, Jongkor, first of all, what we have to look at is whether here in the currently Salva Kiir administration and his opposition partner, who is Dr. Riek Machar. So the first thing that came to my mind every time I talked about government and governing system in South Sudan is the credibility. First of all, Jongkor, the way that peace had been negotiated and the way that peace had been manipulated and being interfered with, within the peace itself, the document, there's nothing that you can really see as representing the right of the people. There's no social justice, there is no recognition, of the conflict itself. And also the resolution to the conflict, which said the peace was signed, did not actually address the root cause of the problem. Now coming to the question, if we don't
Okay,
have
Marianne.
a recognized system,
Go ahead.
if we don't have a recognized system that is in position to handle, and to restore peace in South Sudan, why would we bother to get to know about what the future should be look like? So simply what I'm trying to say here, if you can use your critical thinking and you theorize and analyze the entirely, South Sudan situation and scenario, possibility of these two leaders dragging the citizen of South Sudan back to what had happened on 8th July 2016, the chances are high that conflict, can reoccur. And the conflict that can reoccur can be even more dangerous and can be more destructive than even the 8th July 2016. When they breached the first peace agreement that was signed in Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia. So technically, what I'm basically seeing, Jongkor, we as a concerned citizen of South Sudan, we need to question the credibility of these two leaders. How long and for how long will we, the citizen of South Sudan, continue to be hostage, to the leaders who don't even think about, the welfare, they don't care about the development, they don't care about the well-being of the citizen. And instead, these two leaders, they're just engaging us and they are the one, stealing our natural resources. Economy had died. Insecurity across the country, no movement. People are dying of why are we still really recognizing Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar as leaders? So to me, there's nothing that we can really recognize from these two leaders unless we, the citizen and the concerned citizen, can start rethinking, wisely, critically about what to do to end these leaders from manipulating us, from stealing our natural resources, from killing us, from all form of injustice that they are doing to us.
Mhm.
This is, what I'm seeing. And this is what I hear, and I have been really analyzing through, the research and through what I have
Mhm.
really experienced. So let's continue to question the credibility. Do we really have, a kind of genuine system that we can say it
Yeah,
as a government? So to me, in some,
thank you, Yom.
there's no
But
government.
here in this particular situation, they are arguing too, and now they start an open discussion with citizens of South Sudan. That's what I have seen because they are taking new approach. They are saying that this time we are going to do it. This time we are going to be genuine, and we are going to build institutions. We are going to. So what do you take on that? Because I hear that from a girl today, and a girl actually a young man like we, 38, 39, or 41 or 42, the same, age range, and this is coming from him. What are you saying here? What is your response?
Jongkor, sorry, a few seconds ago, I could not hear you actually. You talked, but there was an interruption on your side. I couldn't hear
So
what
what
you
I
said.
said, Yom, a girl, Ring Machar, who is a spokesperson of the first vice president of the Republic of South Sudan, Taban Dengai. I interviewed him, and actually he stated, when I asked a question,
Yeah.
what guarantee that this revitalization or the institution are going to be built properly, and this time everything is going to go all right? And he said, we assure you and we assure the people of South Sudan, this time around, we are going to be productive. Everything is going to be okay. Can we give them a benefit of doubt in that particular region? Can you give them a benefit of doubt?
Absolutely no to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why, Jongkor? I, as a concerned citizen, and I, as a daughter of that country, I don't recognize, the fact that government is really, trying to fooling around, with the citizen and trying to fool around with the international community. So what came to my mind here, and even Taban Dengai used to be an IO, from IO to government. From government now there is a so-called new revitalized or a new sign,
Mm-hmm.
a peace, that can really bring different structures to the government, of which you cannot really see Taban Dengai, hanging somewhere within, the new system. So a lot of things are coming in, and that already I can really give what is called, a boat of, how do I put it? What I'm trying to say here,
Confidence.
Jonko, Taban Dengai and Salva Kiir, if Taban now become, Taban was an IO government, and Dr. Riek Machar was an IO original, the government itself. If now Taban become part of the government, the 5 vice presidents, the 4 vice presidents are going to Upper Nile, of which now Taban Dengai automatically is part of the government. I don't think Taban Dengai will be, existing somewhere here. So what I'm trying to say, Jonko, everything said, by Ring or by the government or by the opposition. So there's nothing, that I can recognize, and there's nothing that I can really trust. There's no trust, there's no any kind of trust existing between the people of South Sudan and the government of South Sudan. So whether opposition or whether, the government itself.
Well, Yom, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, for airing your perspective. For those of you who don't know Yom, actually, she is a human rights activist. You worked with Amnesty International before, and you're still doing the same job now, you know, advocating and campaigning on human rights regarding atrocity that took place in South Sudan. Thank you so much, Yom. And please stick around. I may bring you back if the, you know, issue, and if you wanted to come back, you know, and answer some questions. Thank you. Please stick around.
Thank you so much, Jongkor, and thank you
Okay.
to the
No
viewers.
problem.
Thank you very much.
So let me go ahead here and see on my list. Send in your requests, and I'll bring you in. Of course. Let me go here and call this. The women are in control today. It's good. The next one is woman. Go ahead and answer that. Apuk, J. Maror. It's adding up. Go ahead and answer. Hopefully the network will cooperate so you can air your perspective here. Go ahead and answer that, Apuk. I'm calling you right now. All right, here we go.
Hello. Hey, Jongkor.
How are you? Good to see you. And I know that it's still early morning in in Sydney, but I'm glad that, you know, you made it and become part of this. We cannot see your face that time. Okay.
Can you hear me or no? Because network.
No, I hear you very well. So,
yes, Jongkor. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw an interview between me and Mr.
Jongkor.
Marak. Okay, if you have hard time, maybe I can bring you back again. How about that?
Okay, let me come back in 2 minutes because let me switch from the Wi-Fi to my personal yeah, just 2 minutes.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Everybody prepare, Jama. This is open forum for all South Sudanese, whether you are, whatever you will be. This is your forum. We are here to interact together. We are here to spell out our concern. And it's good though, their conversation is started, you know. So, gonna go ahead and wait for her and then send in your request and then I can bring you back live. Makera, I see you. G, I see you. G7, whatever you call it. Machar Bermil, I see you too. And Tim, I see you. Cecilio, Robert, I saw your request also. So I'll bring all of you. I'll bring everybody, you know. Of course, if a guy requests it, I can bring him here. But the thing is, a guy likes to write, and he doesn't like to call in. He doesn't want people to see his face. So there are some people actually want to write, and they don't want to speak to the camera. That's fine, again. If you choose to come here, I will, you know, bring you in. So go ahead and request. Okay, while we are waiting for Apuk, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Amel. Amel,
hi, Kev Jongkor.
It's good to see you, sister.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Yeah.
So,
Tamam, تسميت كلام بتاع
hello to the viewers. Yeah. What's her name?
It's been a long time.
Ayom said it well. Yeah, that's what we needed. If you men of Southern Sudan are afraid of Kira Riak, we women will, we will take them out. So if you are afraid to, to point out what is right and what is wrong, we women will never be quiet this time. We will tell Riak and Kir get aside because Kir doesn't know how to bring children. I mean, he knows because he's a man, but he doesn't know how painful children are. And the same as Riak, he doesn't know how painful children are. So this time, women will get up and tell them step aside. The country doesn't belong to them. The country is bigger than Kir. The country is bigger than Riak. The country it doesn't belong to Nuer nor nor Dinka.
Okay.
I don't know. I did not get your topic, but I'm really tired of hearing those Riak Machar, Kir Mayar need to come together and make a peace. What? What
They
is
are
that?
they are
Don't
all
you guys?
they
Don't
are
you
all
South
end
Sudanese
with
feel
R, right?
ashamed?
They are all
Don't,
end with R. But anyway, Abel.
don't you guys South Sudanese feel ashamed? Like different country came out to protest in order. They are saying those leaders are not, are not good anymore. And you South Sudanese are here. Wallahi, our leader, lovely leader, Riak, wallahi, lovely Kir, has to. What is that? Are they the only men in Southern Sudan?
Amel, I'm gonna ask you a question while you are here. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I asked that question. I asked that question to Mr. Spokesperson of the first Vice President, Taban Dengai, Gel Ring Machar. So what we do in social media, we care, we love our country, and that's why we are here. But we have been labeled. They said, "Oh, you are the haters. You hate government. You hate the tribe." People go there and campaign against me. They said that I hate the Dinka. What is your perspective, Amel? It's just
I saw
talking
that
about. It's
they
just talking
even
about
call
the
you that.
government.
They even call you if you are not Kir supporter, you are not a Dinka. I just want to ask them one question. When was Kir bring Dinka? Does Kir have a son called Dinka to bring the whole Dinka community? How is that make sense if you are not Kir supporter, you are not a real Dinka? How what is the relationship between Kir being a president of Southern Sudan and Dinka as a tribe? People people really need to be careful on what you are doing, and what you are doing is not good. We are not supposed to support Kir because it's Dinka. We are supposed to support Kir on
Because
his,
of the policies.
for the policies and how he's running the country. If I disagree with Kir, it doesn't mean that I'm not Dinka. My dad is Dinka. My mom is Dinka. Where do you want to put me? They even call me Arab. They call us Arab. Are we Arab? That's
Well,
very
Amel,
funny. That's the funny
I
part
have
of
a question too.
Kir
I have a
supporter, which
question.
I don't like it.
I have a question too. What make a guy more Dinka than me, and what makes you Dinka than me? Is because I don't have the mark. Jongkor doesn't have mark. It's because my teeth are not out. Okay, Nyal Deng Nyal, his teeth is not out, but he's still a Dinka. So we are all Dinka. These people, they need to understand Dinka is not a government. Dinka is not a country. Dinka is not an SPLA. Dinka is a tribe, and we belong to that tribe. Dinka is a tribe like any other tribe. The same thing to our brothers from other tribes. They need to understand that that's not a Dinka government. That government actually composed of who? Comprise who? Of those of Lomoro, of those of
Hang on, I'm
Makana, of
coming.
those of Taban, of those of Kir. They are all collected from different tribes. So people need to be mindful. They need to understand that this is wrong and we should not go there. I lost Amel. I'm so sorry. It looked like something happened, network or something like that. Amel, I'll bring you to complete so I can go ahead and bring Apuk right now because it looked like Apuk, she's back. Okay. So if you are around, Amel, and you want to finish, let me go ahead and bring you really quick so we can close that chapter. So I'm calling you right now, Amel.
Hi.
Okay, go ahead and finish up so I can bring the next guest.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah. Being a Dinka is a tribe. And whether you got a mark, you don't got a mark, you are still a Dinka. It is a tribe. Mark are something that, people believe is a human nature. They are saying if you do the mark, you will be a big person, according to what they say, or it is beauty. Just the same as white people use tattoo to make them beautiful or something. The same thing as removing teeth. So my kid are Dinka, even though they did not get a mark. You know, I'm Dinka.
You did not
So
get a mark too.
people don't need to mix the politics with the tribe. This is really horrible, and that's where the country is, you know, is going deeper. If you mix the politics with your tribe, it is something else.
And actually, you will make other people think that the ego that you have, and that's why other people think this is the way we think, and but that's not the way. Actually, you know, people need to understand those are so separate, right? So Amil, thank you so much for coming in. I want you to stick around.
Yeah.
I may bring you back as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Let's say the truth. I did not watch a Galmachar him talking, but I'm telling you, Riak and Kir, they are done. Whether you guys believe it, you will always believe me later. Riak and Kir, they are done. Simple. Period. There is nothing called peace between Riak coming together with Kir. No. If they come together in Juba, they are done. If they are outside, Riak in Khartoum, or they are still done. So nothing will bring them together anyway. People call us enemy of peace. By the way, enemy of peace is Kira Riak. Let me tell them. Kira Riak, they are the one enemy of peace, not innocent people like us who are talking without gun. How would you call people enemy of peace when we are talking? We are calling up for our rights. We are saying no more. We don't need our children to die. No more. By the way, my kid came, so I will leave. I will leave you. Yeah.
Thank you, Amir. Thank you so much. You know, it's good to have you. Let me go ahead here and call the next person. That was Amel there. She had her perspective as well. So I'm gonna go ahead here and bring you in. Jel Maror. I'm sorry for not saying your name right. It's good to see you, Apu. So I believe you were sleeping, or maybe you were watching while you are still there when I interviewed Mr. Agel. And what is your perspective, Apu? It's a good time, you know, long time you haven't been in our show. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, and hello to the viewers. I have not honestly watched Agel's show because I just woke up. Obviously, you did it overnight. However, generally, I think we're all aware of what is happening in South Sudan, and a lot of South Sudanese politicians are very predictable. You don't even have to sit down and watch their live videos or what they say in order for you to understand what their intentions are or what their motives are. If anyone out there trusts politicians, then you have a real problem. You don't understand what politics is. When a politician tells you everything is okay, no, everything is not okay. You need to run away for your life because everything is not okay. We're all aware about the nature and how complex the issues of South Sudan are. These revitalization has not really addressed the root cause of the problems, and so if we have not addressed the root cause and how we are going to obviously ensure that these incidences do not occur again, and then there's higher chances that we are going to go back to the incidences that happened in the previous years. We all know that the whole incident started with SPLM or SPLA with the army, and their issue is between them. It does not really concern all of us as South Sudanese. And I always say this, and people might not like it because we're all fanatics, you know, of SPLM. I am obviously one of the seeds of the SPLA or SPLM. My father was one of the Anyanya one, and I have a lot of relatives that are part of SPLM right now. But I feel like we have a country now. The vision of SPLM has died. It has died with Dr. John Garang as well. So to me, I feel like in the nearest 20 years from now, if SPLM does not change its attitudes towards South Sudanese, there's higher chances that we are going to get sick and tired of them and dismantle the whole movement itself. Because SPLM was a movement. We were fighting the Arabs, and that vision has ended already. Now we have a country and they're trying to claim this sense of entitlement, and whatever they're doing is causing further destruction in the country. So I hope that they are listening, that in the nearest future they're going to lose support and credibility, and they are not going to be the right people to lead us anymore, because I believe if there's anything, the power should be with the people. The power should not be with the army. It should not be with the politicians. Politicians are there to obviously just try to work to ensure that our country is being developed. They are like a public servant, that's what they are. But the way I look at it right now in South Sudan, politicians are using their power to exploit people. And I have an issue with that. So I hope they will be listening to us on live videos and what we are saying, because sooner or later, as soon as the South Sudanese understand really that the power is with them, these politicians will know that their ending is coming. So do I trust this peace, and do I believe it's going to work? I
And that's
I
the
don't know.
question. That's the
Yeah.
question, actually, Apuk, I'm going to ask. Don't be distracted by comment. So
Okay.
now, I did talk to Mr. Agel Machar, who is the spokesperson of the first vice president, and I asked him a question. Those politicians are avoiding the conversation with us on the social media, and they're calling us haters. People are not good. They don't have a job. They don't know what they're doing. And actually, he denounced it. He said, no, actually, you guys are doing a tremendous job. And the other thing that I asked, what's going to make this peace, better than 2015? And how are we going to believe that you're going to do it? Because there is a bad reputation right there within the SPLM party. And he assured that this is going to be a good one, and they are going to build institution, and they are going to be fair this time. So now, my question to you, can you give them a benefit of doubt?
I think we've given them a lot of chances and they failed us, and they are still failing us currently as we are talking. These constitutions or institutions that they believe they are going to build should have been done already. I don't understand why these people are being paid millions and millions of dollars if they're not going to be doing their job. I just think they're not competent. They don't like being criticized, but I think sometimes people need to understand that if you don't have critics, if you don't have people to criticize you, and then you are not going to be as successful. You need someone to tell you you are not doing your job right. You need to ensure that you are doing your job. And if you don't have individuals that are telling you what you're doing wrong, and then you have an issue. And I think that's why I said before, when we got our country, we were not ready. We were not ready, and that's why we are in chaos right now. And what is happening is we have people that are using that to exploit the country even further. The international community knew that we were not ready. The neighboring countries knew that South Sudan was not ready, but because we have resources as well, we are like in a very hot seat, and we're not helping either. If we understand that we were not ready, we should not be fighting. And I am really proud of South Sudanese, to be honest, from the bottom of my heart, when the politicians try to use the tribes of South Sudan and turn them against each other. We all stood up, and there was people on social media that did that. It was all of us that are here right now that said, no, this war has nothing to do with the tribes of South Sudan. If I go to the village of Equatoria right now, a lot of them don't even care about what's happening. They don't understand. If I go to the village of Dinka right now, they have no idea, what's happening. So who are these people that are trying to bring our country into jeopardy? It is the SPLM themselves. They are the ones that are fighting themselves. So let's not put blame on the wrong people. Let's put the blame on these individuals that we are all aware of, whether it's Taban Dengad, whether it's Pagana Mom, whether it's Kirmayatid, whether it's those SPLA members that I have an issue with. And I will continue to criticize them until they do the right thing and ensure that our resources are not being used for wrong reasons. All these private companies that are operating currently in the country, it's government's responsibility. How are they allowing individuals to be contracting our resources to foreigners? How is that happening? Why is it that there are no policies being put in place? Whose fault is that? Is that Riek Machar's problem? No, it is the government of South Sudan, because they are the one currently that are leading and they have the powers in their hands to do that. Why are they allowing it to happen? And let's go back to the whole concept of beyond revitalization, which is when in the next 8 months, we are in the process of pretty much implementing the peace. I am afraid that all these politicians are still bitter. They're not ready. They are not ready at all to ensure that they bring us a genuine peace.
Yes. Are you there? And frozen. Yeah, so sorry, Apuk. It looked like got distracted somewhere there. But anyway, I can bring you back to finish your point, and then we move I can move ahead with other South Sudanese here, but go ahead and send me. Okay, yeah, so you can finish this up and then we go. But
Sorry, I got
before,
a
I can ask this question. I know somebody called you. I can ask you this question. So I said, now, interim period is going to happen. You guys need to reach out for those who are still holding the gun to come to make it inclusive. So in case of 2021 election, let's say Riek Machar won election, or somebody else won election, or Kir won election, are we not going to have the same scenario, the war of election being rigged by one party, and then all the entire nation will go back to war again?
Well, this is what, if it was up to me as an individual, I would not. There would be a policy in place or some form of measures that would say no. Any of those members of SPLM needs to not be a part of the next upcoming election. We need new faces. We need to see people with different credentials, because otherwise we're going to keep on going up and down. The country belongs to the SPLM. We fought for this country. It is ours. It's our time now. All that nonsense has to go. We have a country to run now, and we need to give a chance to people that we know for a fact will run the country. So if it's entirely up to me, and if the people of South Sudan agree, we need to campaign against this. We don't want to see old faces. Because guess what? I know for a fact in the next upcoming election, we're going to have all these people, Rebecca Nyadeng, Majanga God, Kir Mayadi, Riek Machar, they would all want to campaign. They would all want this presidency position, because that's what they're all fighting for. They all want to be the presidents of South Sudan. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen because they all can't lead. And I hope in the nearest future as well, we will have terms in place where people will, let's say, if you lead for the next 3 years or 5 years, and then you will have another chance. And then if that happens, you're done. You're not going to campaign again. I am sick and tired of seeing these African countries where someone is 85 years old and they still want to rule. Like, by that time, you're meant to be, in bed resting, because you're old to process information properly. And so I hope South Sudan, it's entirely up to you, the people, and everyone that is watching here. It's up to you, because you're the ones that are educated. You are the people that know what is right and what is wrong. The people in the village, they have no idea what's happening. All they want is just to have a happy life, for them to go to farm, and live the daily life in a very secure environment. But us, the people that know and understand the world that we're living in right now, it's entirely up to you to ensure that you fight for your people. So don't take social media as this platform where everyone is deaf, because that's not true. All over the world, it is media, it is social media that causes all this upright. Look at Middle East, look at all the other developing countries. Their message is always heard on social media. So if you don't like the fact that there are people that are always speaking up against what's happening in the country, and then so be it. I've heard some people say things like, "Oh, you guys are always making noise on social media. What impact are you making?" And I'm thinking, what do you mean? We're making a lot of impact directly. So don't feel Jongkor, like you're not doing anything. You are doing a lot of job. And believe me or not, these politicians in South Sudan, they're doing nothing with their life anyways, and they have data. They're constantly watching. They are watching. Some of them even have fake Facebook accounts.
They do.
So
They do.
they're listening. And we have to tell them the truth. We have to tell them that SPLM is generally coming downhill if they don't, because Jongkor, what's the point of you being a leader if your people are suffering, if your people are dying, if you're creating further chaos in the country? And then what's the point? I would want to be a leader that everyone just looks up to and say, wow, she's changing a lot of things. She's building schools. She's providing normal basic necessities to my people. I would be a proud leader. I don't want to go and pick up a gun and fight. To do what? If I was to go back in South Sudan right now, would I be safe? That's the first question. Of course not. We all know in history that people that speak up against government are always in danger. Would I want to put myself in danger? Of course not. I'm still young. I just finished my studies. I want to, focus on my life and do other things. Am I ready right now to sacrifice, and fight against illiterate leaders in South Sudan? Of course not. It's too dangerous. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sit on social media and make their life hell on social media. Would I step foot in South Sudan? Of course not. Which is quite shameful that young people are out here on social media saying, no, I don't want to go back to my country because it's too dangerous right now. It's not safe. I hope our leaders will step back a little bit and understand that, you know, we are not against them. We just want things to be done right. We just want the right things for our people, for the little ones, you know, because our future has been destroyed. If you're a Red Army here now and you're watching, you are 45 or 47, you're going to your 50s. You were meant to be the seeds of South Sudan. And what just happened?
Thank you.
And the funniest thing is, it is the Red Army themselves that are here to be so quick to, when I say that SPLM is going down, it is going to be dismantled, it is Red Army that will come back and say, no, 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 no. But what happened to them? Their future has been dead.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
thank you so much, Apuk. Thank you so much. You know, we will not give up because we know that we are patriot. We love our country. You know what? I sacrifice $350 every 2 weeks just for not working on Friday so I can get raised $2 per hour. But I thought this are not a lot for South Sudan, sitting 4 hours talking about the issue. Actually, we are making an impact because we are bringing people together. We are talking about the real issues. We are raising awareness. These are the real impact. If people don't want to admit that, the history will prove that. So thank you so much for coming on. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we're helping them as well, because if they were listening to us, they would do everything that we're asking. Jongkor, we're not asking for them. We're not asking the most difficult thing. What we're saying is we need a reform, meaning SPLM itself, if they want to be a party, they can just be a party. But we also need other people out there as oppositions to ensure that they're overseeing everything. That's what we're saying. What are we asking for? We need a system to be created. And who's going to create that system currently? It is the government that is in place right now. You know, what else do we need? We need roads to be built. We need hospitals. We need corruption to stop. We need security in the country. These are the things that we are asking. And if they can't provide these things, then why do they call themselves leaders? I'm not just directing it at the government. I am directing it at all the opposition leaders as well, because they're all part of SPLM. You know what? It's really quite sad that it is coming from a child of the late, you know, one of the people that fought for the country, that I am ashamed of SPLM and the way they are acting right now. They're very greedy, they're money hungry, all they're doing is for self-interest and for their families. They don't care about anyone else. And it's really sad. It's very shameful. Whether it's I or detainees, whoever it is, shame on all of you. Make sure that you step back a little bit. Every time when you go to bed, tell yourself it's not about me, it's about my country. It's about the country, it's not about you. And for you to be a leader, the power is not with you. You should give the power to your people. And if you're doing well, there's no need for people to hate you. If you're doing well, everyone will love you and support you. And you will even live even much more longer by doing your duties and responsibilities. But right now, seriously, them coming on social media, making it seem like they're trying to convince people. The only people you will convince are probably those radical, empty-minded individuals. But for some of us that know exactly what is wrong with that country, we will not agree. We will say, no, thank you. You are just being a politician and we don't trust you. Do I trust them that they will bring peace to South Sudan? Of course not. It's a big no, and no one else should trust these politicians either. So if a girl said that, yes, they are going to bring genuine peace right now, if he's watching right now, I tell him, no, you're lying. You're being a politician. If there's anything, it is a storm that is coming. It is war that is coming. And that is reality. And he's probably watching right now and smiling and saying, yeah, it's true. There is going to be war. So let's not go there. Thank you, Jongkor. I'll probably let you go and give other people a chance.
Yeah, thank you so much, Apuk, for coming on. It was good to have you and contribute as well to concerned citizen of South Sudan. Please stick around and stay blessed. It was good having you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
All right, here you have it. Apuk gave a role, add her perspective as well. I'm going to go ahead and see on my list who are those here still waiting. I'll bring you in here. Mark, it's your turn. Mark, I'm calling you right now. Go ahead and answer that.
Morning. Good evening, Jongkor.
أول مرة نشوف وشك.
يا ما أنت بتعمل الشو وأنا
always be dark. يا ما network عملية برجل الليلة network عمل حركات كده وما قدرتها. So قطع لي interview my spokesperson of first vice president. لكن أنا قلت يا I cannot leave everybody out. I have to go and redo this so we can hear the perspective from everybody. So I don't know if you listened to my interview with Mr. Agel Machar or not, the spokesperson of Vice President Taban Dengai.
Sorry طيارة أنا ساكن جنب مطار أنا ما أعرف واحد بقى بسكن جنب مطار من السودان لحد يجيبه until here.
أنا سامعينك هاي.
Yeah. All right. Like, I think موضوع بتاع Agel is like definitely they will support the peace process that is going on. And I think they're clarifying that they are implementing the peace agreement. Although I didn't got the interview, but I can guess what he can say. I will be so precise on some issues. Regarding the implementation of the agreement, you see like 1 month now without any 1.1% step ahead to form the pre-transitional period institution or committees. Nothing happened. And you see the violation in Western Bargazal, in Upper Nile, especially in Unity State.
Actually, I asked him about the incident in Western Barkazal. He said he's not aware because he's outside of the country right now. So
this doesn't make sense because all the social media, he's on social media, all the news agencies now they're reporting that at Jazeera. So how come he's not aware? That means his office is not functional well. He has to check himself about that. So yeah, the other thing is the agreement. We see how CPA been designed until we reach to the agreement. Look, we don't need to rush into political agreement on the power sharing or economy or else. But you see how SPLM and NCP, they designed modalities on ceasefire. Every 6 or 3 months, they used to update that agreement by sending monitoring team. So we can do that. We don't need to get agreement or the region to push us. We are the people who supposed to tell the IGAD or the mediator that we need to settle the security first, and then we jump into the other, or we go, like to reach a ceasefire agreement temporary, need to be updated every 6 months. Then we move on the other political issues. But now they are not focusing on that. They are focusing on the political agreement to go to Juba and compensate themselves for the expenses of the war. That's why you see Sudan now is so hungry, sending Tutkeu between Juba and Khartoum. Tutkeu attending Majlis Shura بتاع مؤتمر وطني and been filled with instruction on how to do things. And that's why you see like Tabandeng is feeling that his cards is being dismantled here and there, and that he's not on the show anymore. So President Kiir has another actor. You cannot bring someone like Tutkeo to be the head of the implementation committee on the side of the government. Where is Nyal Deng? Where is Michael Mokwe? Where are those people? The senior cadres of the SPLM. Can I forget about the other people who went with the opposition? Nasser Mahakumas, they are there. But like humiliate them and bring one like Tutkeo, this is not right. So we are in danger. It's all about the oil and a lot of things. And when I saw the profiteers, this is another thing. Like it showed the ugly side of the opposition, and it hit the IO from the back, and that's why you see like how the country.
Actually, I'm sorry to disrupt you. I asked that question today. Is General Taban Denga is going to reconcile fully with Dr. Riek Machar? And actually assure us that he's going to go to the airport, because we know that Riek Machar actually is going to go there in 3 weeks from now. He's going to go to the airport to receive Riek Machar, and they are going to reconcile. That's one. And the other question also, I asked, now, Salamda, okay, 2015, what make it different? Gamgal, this time we got it right. We got the security arrangement right. And they are going to build institution. So my question to you, Mark, Dr. Mark, do you give them benefit of doubt? In that
Definitely, I
regard?
doubt. I doubt if they are going to be in some Alasal. You know, it's like it's reservation. We know those people. I personally know Tabandeng very well because I work in Unity State for not long time, but I saw him. He did a lot of harassment. I watched him during the election. What has been done? So the attitude of the SPLM leaders to me is something like, and زي ان احنا زمان لما نلعب كوره زول بيقول بشنكل دوبا, so they're doing that. I will leave you to play. تكون جاري تمام, then تكون واخد راحه بتاعك, then I will just come from back and
I'm a
so
foul. Yes.
So this is the thing that they are doing. So President Kiir will just he need certain time, because Kiir is not that leader that lock you up in a prison and a jail. That waste of time. Because he need someone, if he want to eliminate his opponents, the Nasriyak or those of Bagan, he want to eliminate those opponents in military battle. Ita jari is all the lazim kudugalu kan jari. But put that person in jail, human rights, bigi munu, it's a headache to him. He can't waste his time on because of all these things. So React will go back to Cuba if he, and I doubt about that, for 3 weeks now. It's all Yahoo Mufudar Jabadukra, which is 15. Now there's nothing happened. Okay, so we are reaching almost the 5th week after the signing the agreement. They're just sending awareness and highlight their basis about what happened, but nothing. I heard that the chief of staff of both warring parties, SPLA or Nogul
Now,
SSDF.
as without the government, they are going to be more aggressive. They want to have a dialogue with those diaspora. Lanugal diaspora, they are the headache, and then they need to, sell this piece out, and they need to come and talk to us. What did your intake in that?
Yeah, let them come. We have been calling them to come and talk to people since 2016. Because I went to Cuba 2015 and I saw how things are going on. Like when they started mobilizing their forces and to monitor the arrival of the or the advancing of IO, I saw how things been doing, and I was moving in at night. That's the reason that I decided when I came back for my last semester, because I supposed to go back to you, but that situation is not healthy. I decided no, I'm not going back because I've been stopped with some of my friends and at the checkpoints, been harassed. So what kind of policing state? So these are the problem. So let them come to the diaspora and listen to the people who are concerned here. But then the problem is here, like not the diaspora. They feel that their politics is useless because of one thing. We here in diaspora, we used to have this political debate only. Kalamta community, so shaklab the Denka where shaklab between Equatoria and Denka and Chiloku Denka. So this will not take us anywhere. We have to. Since I came to Australia, like all the politicians who come to visit people in diaspora here in Australia, particularly, I never heard about any politician who talk about how to rule the country, about the constitution problems, or about any kind of issue about the economy. Those are the things that people need to listen how we govern the country. But it بتيجي والله قتل نوير في منطقتين في جوبا ونحن ما نخلي دينكو. So you get frustrated from such talk because the point that you want to put in, then you find yourself that having a tendency to tribal affiliation, like you lose even your value. And I went through that. And sometimes I have to put something, but I have to jump in and put some tribal points, which I regret sometimes that to do such talks. So I stopped for a long time joining anyone who has tribal comments about any tribes. Well, I'll say, okay, my brother, if that's your point, just if you are so confident about what you're saying, okay, go ahead with it. But I myself, I work in different part of South Sudan. I visit almost 7% of the towns in South Sudan, and I know South Sudanese are similar to each other, despite the differences. But when you visit all those places, the same attitudes are there. Even the tribes that they say that they are peaceful here and there, they still have the same, component of like you see, mental component, loving their culture and everything. If you go to
Do you
Rumbek, if you
think
go to Yambio,
this is my
you
last
go
question to you,
yeah.
Dr. Mark? Do you think when I asked Alta, I asked the spokesperson about this question? Do you think South Sudanese leaders will have a master plan to rebuild this country in terms of economic, in terms of political, human, and all these things? The reason I'm saying that, I know Sabata, you know what I'm talking about. The master plan, like what happened, European, when they got destroyed after the Second World War, what the United States did actually introduced it, what so-called master plan, and then they focus more building institution and constructing the road and all this. Do you think our leaders, they have the same ideology that it could be master plan, could be master plan after all this atrocity and crisis that affected every single person in South Sudan? Do you think they have the same ideologies?
They have definitely they have, but they are ashamed to expose it out for so many reasons. Their pride, they are jealous, they are they're greedy. They can't. And we said that before with some of our friends in Juba. This conflict of the mentality of there is no development in South Sudan, and bringing illiterate people on the top of educated people or the capable people is it's a deliberate idea, because like they feel that those people, they will not enjoy the fruits of this development. That's why they want to make it like this. And they always say, oh, beled ma fogo daman. Beled ma fogo daman kef. And you are the top leader to go beled ma fogo daman, and people will be run. That means there is something fishy coming up. So the only way that to convince us is just to bring the next generation on the top. Regardless, we don't need to be there. We are not there to be politicians. We are technical people. For me, like I rather work in academic institution or my health sector than even talk about this politics. It's waste of time, definitely. If now in South Sudan, I could work in a better condition. It's not about money. It's about helping the people in these peripheries, because I saw how people are suffering, especially in from my experience. I work in a lot for 4 years in area of Bargazal. I moved all those areas. So these are the things that you need if they want to reconcile with us as youth. Let them bring the people who are capable. There are some good people in youth leader in SPLM. Now they are not there. They're in diaspora. I know some of them, but I will not mention the name. If they were there, the country would be so good. But they humiliate them and they left them aside. So that's why you see wrong people in wrong positions. But
okay, Mark,
yeah.
Dr. Mark, thank you so much, man. It was good having you, and you add your perspective as well. It's good to have you in daylight there in Australia today. So please stick around. We may bring you back as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, have a good.
All right يا جماعة أنا بجيبكم وبجيب كل زول اللي عاوز يتكلم. That's مشروع. Diana Adam, you asked me today, and you said that actually this is the first time to bring a female. I have been bringing females on my show actually, Like sometimes they don't request. It's not me. It's not up to me. Now if you request, you are more than welcome, to speak to this, program. And actually, يا جماعة كلام ناس بيقولوا قال ناس بيجوا هنا, and then they become the denka, wanna keep quiet. Well, I always make it clear here at the program, of any program that I run, I said, ya Jama, you don't need to insult anyone, or you don't need to insult any tribe. Because insulting tribe actually might be hell muscular. Being a victim, it doesn't give you right to insult others. Ana gonna good kalamda. I don't know what's the point here. I see you that Sister Ashol, you said that's problem with me. The only problem that because I don't, check these people who accuse or who say things against the Dinka. Ya Jama, أي زول بيجي بيتكلم مني is responsible. you know. أي زول بيجي بيتكلم مني responsible. And I keep reminding everybody, do not insult. Do not insult Barry. Do not insult Nuer. Do not insult Shuluk. Do not insult Dinka. I keep saying that. لأنه في النهاية we are all South Sudanese. عشان كده أنا جبت كلامي قبل. The tribe is something different than the country, than the party, than the country. You know the president. President is fair game because he's the president of the republic. Everybody. I say this all the time. Actually, you from diverting yourself from the real issue and going after tribe, my beside. I said this all the time, on and on, but it looked like maybe you guys are not hearing my voice loud and clear. But this is what I've been, doing. That let us focus on the issue, let us focus on the issue. And I am not responsible for, behaviors of someone who just decide to do whatever. And you guys seen here how many people I kick out from my program because I don't like their behavior. They are not behaving like, adults. So it's okay. Anyway, I can be blamed. No problem. I will take it. But go ahead, Diana, and send in your request. I'll call you for sure. And Nuri, I saw your request. Guys. I'll bring you guys on. Okay. Right.
Hello, Mr. Khair.
Mr. Noor, good to see you, Diana.
Good to see you too. So الحاجة اللي أنا عايزة أقوله لك يعني كذا تنفار هنا لو كانوا جينك مثلا وهم بيتكلموا عن قبائل تانيين انت طوالي بتلم له يعني ما تتكلم عن القبيل الفلاني ما تتكلم عن القبيل الفلاني لكن اذا جا زول وقاعد يتكلم عن دينكا انت ما قاعد تعمل ما بتعمل حاجه بتخلوه يكمل يعني اديك اقرب مثال عمك ده اسمه منو كوروكوجوكو ولا اسمه شنو ده شعره عجيب ده
كوروكوجو
قاعد هنا بيتكلم كوركوجو انه دينكا انهم اطماع في اراضيهم وشنو ده وحاجات ده كله هو قال انت ما قلت له نو قول انه الحكومه عنده اطماع في اراضيكم يعني او انا ما بسمح لك انك تقول دينكا عايزين يغتصبوا حقك انت ما قلت الحاجه دي يعني لكن لو مثلا دينكا وجا يتكلم في قبيله ثانيه عليه ما شويه طوال انت بتهاجمه لا الكلام ده ما ينفع وحاجه دي كده وحاجه دي كده سو ده الحاجه اللي انا عايزه اقوله لك
ديانا.
يعني انت المفروض برضه حتى لو جا زول ثاني بيتكلم عن انا بعرف لانك انت
take a deep breath.
لا.
أنا always أنا قاعد نعمل I remind everybody أنا قاعد نعمل remind الناس يا جماعة going up the tribe ما بيحل مشكلتنا. أنا لو قاعدين كل يوم أنا قاعد أغني باسم نوير والله نوير دي سوي لنا ونوير ده عمل ونوير هيحل مشكلة ما هيحل مشكلة اللي هيحل مشكلة أنا نشيل نمسك يدين واحد نويراي ونمسك يدين واحد شلكاي وواحد من باري وواحد من لتوكو ونقول يا جماعة مشكلتنا شنو نحن where we fail كده let's see كلام ده أنا قاعد أقول للناس كله أنا ما قاعد أقول بس لدينك أنا ما قاعد أقول لباري ولا لتوكو إكواتوريان زاد مع قبائل إكواتوريان شفت السويين ده قبائل زاد عندهم differences برام عندهم their own thing بارغزال فيه قبائل عندنا كم maybe عندنا 28 29 في بارغزال شفت فسو my sister يعني I know people get to blame me لكن أنا بدي
some people here they don't speak English and they they don't speak Arabic and they want me to speak in English. What I'm trying to say to Brother Jongkor, like many tribes will come and attack Dinka and say really hurtful things or criticize Dinka in a negative way. And he does not say, oh no, I don't want you to talk like this about this tribe, because when other people come in his show and talks about Jing, he doesn't say anything. He's quiet. And I totally understand, maybe because he's Jing, and if he said something, they're going to be like, okay, you're siding with your tribe. But if you had a rule, nobody should be insulting or saying any kind of remark regard to other tribes also is supposed to be the same when other people are talking about Jing too. ومرات بتجيب يعني مثلا ممكن تجيب حكيم يجي يتكلم you can bring Hakim as your guest and then he's gonna say all kind of hurtful things about Jing, and you will just like, okay, let it go, and then bring another person and he will say something bad also about Jing and you just gonna let it go, and when a Jing person requests to talk, you don't give them a chance to talk, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's okay, me too, sometimes when people talk about Jing, I don't defend Jing because people are not going to believe me. They're going to think, okay, because you are Jing, that's why you're defending them. Like, and you have to be fair too. لأنه كده Jing هيحسوا إنك you're not fair. But I totally understand إنه مرات الحاجات زي دي بيخطوك في مشكلة مع Jing ومع قبائل التانيين. لو أنت جزء يتكلم كلام كعب عن Jing وأنت قلت له ما تتكلم كده هيقول لك you're tribeless. لأنه نحن Jing ممنوع نتكلم في الجنوب، يعني نحن عاملين زي خواجات بتاع الجنوب. نحن ممنوع نتكلم عن نفسنا خالص. يعني زي
Diana,
ممكن يقول نكتة عن جين لكن جين ما ممكن يقول نكتة عليه. حرام
Diana,
كده.
Diana, my sister, I'm fair to everybody. I know that. And actually I held everybody responsible. اي زول بيجي بيتكلم هنا المفروض يتكلم responsibly. لانه زي ما انا قلت لو انت اتكلمت عن دينجا ليل ونهار ما هيحل مشكلتك. لو اتكلمت عن شلوك ليل ونهار ما هيحل مشكلتك. لكن نحن نتكلم كجنوبيين. لان اولا نحن جنوبيين وكده هربنا. اوكي شمال هربنا كجنوبيين ما هربنا كدينكا ولا كنوير ولا حاجه بشكل كده. So everybody should be responsible. And I remind people, believe me, now as I speak to you, في ناس simply because I'm a dinka, they will not come here and they will not even talk to me. They will send me hate messages. You see when I brought Pagana mom last time, how many messages I received? Bad messages. Pagan, why you go there? This guy anyway, he's a dinka. You know, you should do this and you should do that. But I don't care about it. Always we're gonna have bad apples in everywhere. It's gonna happen. It doesn't mean that Lofinas must criticize kalam makwis, and then we quit what we have been doing. So I take a note. And I know that I'm fair to every South Sudanese. Lano Anna, I am a citizen of South Sudan.
Not to Jeng, not to Jeng. You're not fair to Jeng. Let's be fair.
I am a Jeng myself. What do you think?
Yeah, I know, but I know like Marat, you cannot defend Jeng because people are gonna think because that's your tribe. That's why you let it slide. You know?
No, that's not the way. Yeah. But anyway, I really appreciate you. Do you want to make a point on our interview today?
Okay, yeah. What I'm trying to make a point, it's kind of also weird. Like I'm not a government supporter or IO because I don't think like the government and IO are different people. Just before, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, they used to be the same party. They used to be doing the same corrupted things, you know? Why right now we're gonna choose Riek and over what you call him, Kiir Mayardit? I think both of them are the same people. We give them many chances and they fail. You know, so since you talk to them and you talk to what his name, Agil, whatever.
Agil Machar.
Yeah, Agil Machar. Tell them that people of South Sudan, they want a transitional government. They don't want those people anymore, you know, because they give them all kind of chances and they fail. Like, just see the last peace agreement. Sudan was just ripping off South Sudan like this. You know, if I was scared, I would resign. So I will not give Khartoum $3 billion or Riyak or anybody if they really care about this country, you know. So this peace agreement and how Khartoum rip us off, all people of South Sudan should know those people are not the people who we want them to be our leaders. They're not responsible enough. They're not caring enough. They don't have ideas. They don't have anything. You know, this is the time that Care and Riyak should unite.
Okay,
you know,
Diana,
save South Sudan.
Diana, first of all, there is a question that I ask everybody who come to my show today. Agil Machar, this time is going to be different. Now you seeing me coming here. No, I just want to finish the question. That's what he said. That's the question that he said. And he said, we're going to be different. We're going to build institution. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're not going to fight. And it's Aldo. What is going to be different? They are not going to fight. They're going to do this. They're going to reach out. They're not Lisa Barrett. They're going to reach out Thomas Cirillo, Malong Awan, Hakim Darius, and so forth. So now, do you give them benefit of doubt?
No, I don't trust them. They're lying.
So
I don't
what
trust
do you
them.
want
They're
to see?
lying. They use people. They are users. I just want to see a transitional government. I want all the old faces. It's not. I don't have something about old people. One day I'm gonna get old too, you know. But all this SPLM, SPLA, whatever, who used to run the country, none of them should be given another chance. Just let me give you like a little example. If you play in an NBA team and you don't play very good, they're not gonna give you a chance. They're gonna kick you out and bring another person. So why we treat our nation less than a basketball team? You know, it's about time for them like to retire. You know, and if people like they want someone from the tribe so bad, oh, go bring them, no big deal. But not anybody has something to do with SPLA and SPLM party. Also, people of South Sudan, they need to be also educated, you know, about like how to vote and who to choose as a president. Let's vote them out. Let's show them like we have the power as South Sudanese, you know. وبطلوا مجاملات يعني when SPLA or whatever Kir Mayar did when he go, for example, to Warab, don't show up to his whatever, you know. when he go there, don't show up. And even if you went there, okay, don't say when they say SPLA, don't say SPLA, just be quiet. They're gonna know that people don't want them anymore. We gotta be creative of how we're gonna show this government we don't want them anymore, you know? And most importantly, we need to educate people of South Sudan, because all of the people who cause problem in South Sudan, the militia are not from neighboring country. They are South Sudanese who don't know what even they are fighting for. You know, like for example, the White Army, they were fighting because of Nuer people who've been killed. You know, and then when Riek Machar always come and sign peace agreement, it has nothing to do justice to them or build their houses and their life back again. No, it's all about his position. It's also about this political gain and this and that and power and all of that, you know. So we need to educate our people so they will not give power to those people who are using us and treat us very unfairly. So I guess
Diana,
so.
it's so great to have you. You see, you know about the issue. You know what is wrong. So if we don't speak out, that's why I invite all the young, like you know, young women, young men, to interact together. We can have a conversation. And above all, we need to reach out. I need to reach to Latuka. I need to reach to Mundare. I need to reach to Dinka. I need to reach to Nuer. عشان يكون عندنا شنو كلام بيننا عشان ما نكره بعض. لأن sometimes not into their living room and they're, you know, they can talk, oh, والله نازل كده كده. Lakin you know what? When we open, we need to be open. That's gonna change a lot. Wallahi, my sister. We here in diaspora, we need to play that role. And you actually, by speaking here today, there's a lot in you. And that's why I'm calling everybody who is hiding there in the closet to come out, you know, and become part of this conversation. I really, really appreciate you coming on today. I give you the last word. And you know what? We have to be fair. Yes, I am fair. All right. Last word, Diana, and I'll let you go.
Okay, خلاص مع السلامة.
All right, that was Diana Adam speaking. So let me go ahead here through my list. This is very, very important to be more involved, you know. When we are involved, it's so amazing. So, yeah, long list. I saw you, brother, there. Okay, it looked like Mariana, you went and you came back. All right, I'll bring you. And there's another guy here, you know, it was here, but I don't see him anymore. Jamaismu something Korjok, you know. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to slaughter your name. But Korjok, can you send that thing again? Because actually you have a priority. I don't want to call somebody, you know, before you. So send that one in again and I'll call you and I'll bring you. I saw your request, Jacob. I saw your request, G, and I saw your request, Namoga. Mariana, I'll bring you as well if this guy is not here, and then I can go for Mariana because I know your network didn't work. Gibel, Intagutayahi, later, you know, call me. So now, since that guy is not sending in a request, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you, and then if we show up, and then I can call him as well. So let me go for you. Oh yeah, it's right there. Atem Kunjok. So I'm calling you right now, Atem.
Hello.
Hi, it's good to see you, Atem. And I know, man, we have so many people. That's why sometimes you request and you leave and then go back, and that's what happened. So let's get your perspective so I can bring somebody else, Atem.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. But brother, I wish Brother Gan can sometime show his face, because in some shows he will say, "Well, I am from Werrap and I'm from Twitch State," but it's still I don't have a.
He's an handsome young man. I know. He showed his face before.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. That's good. We'll meet sometime because he says people from Werrap or from Gogrial have no moral ground to talk about the politics of South Sudan because
he's just kidding.
He's the country. Let me see. Another guy from Werrap. That's what he said. Okay. I watched your show with a girl, but I was at work at the time and kind of I didn't watch the whole interview. But I watched one of the interview that a girl had yesterday with Nyamun, which was good. Let me say this. I am for peace and I support this Khartoum peace agreement, even though I know it's not perfect peace. But let's be realistic, and I think a girl was very optimistic, which is a good thing. But let's be realistic about what is happening. As I was waiting, I put some names down. First of all, we have Dr. Riak as the first vice president from Unity State. I don't know, they divide them into 3 states now. First vice president, the current first vice president Taban, they happen to be from the same place with Dr. Riak. And I said this is a big challenge. Why is it a big challenge? Because these are very important positions. So having 2 people from one state is a big problem that will block other Nuer, even for Nuer or even for other people from Upper Nile is going to be another challenge. So I see this as a challenge, even though Gal was saying when Dr. Riak will come to Juba, first vice president, he's now first vice president, Taban will go to airport and hack him. Okay, that's political hack, I would call it. They will hack it themselves. But let me go through the list that I have from Upper Nile. And if you divide it 45 seats among the 3 regions, each region would end up having 15 seats. But now we have Dr. Riek Machar from Upper Nile. We will have Taban from Upper Nile. We will have Dr. Riak guy. I don't think President Kiir is going to throw these guys away. Those are people who have stood with him from day one. You also have General James Hosmai. Is somebody I would not hesitate to jump into his camp if he decided today to run for the presidency. Even if he were to run against my mom, I would support him because he's somebody that I really, really admire, and somebody who loves peace. So that's number 4 is from Nuer, from Upper Nile. We have Dr. Lama Kol, who is possibly going to be one of the first or one of the vice presidents from Upper Nile. That's number 5. We have number 6, Ezekiel Garkwath Lual. I don't know what they are going to do with him, but I don't think he will be quiet if he's thrown away from the government, if he doesn't have a position. We also have number 7, Rebecca Nyadeng is also from Upper Nile, who would also have, it's possible, I heard a few days ago that she's been nominated by the FDs to be their first vice president. That's 8. You have 9, Makunwet. He has been with the government for a long time. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think Kir is going to throw him away. We have Kwal Manyang, he's from Upper Nile. We have Onyoti Adigo. By the way, is somebody who is DC, and DC is the official opposition. 2010, I was there when the election took place, and I was going to Will. I know what happened in northern Barakazal and what happened in Werap. There was no fair and free election. Nothing. I did not vote myself because people were being intimidated. So I said, this is not what we fought for. So this guy, you cannot leave him out because he's from different party, and he's from Upper Nile. He's currently the Minister of Agriculture. You have Juk, the General Chief of Staff, is from Upper Nile. That's 11. You have Yan Orial, is high school, is high education. You also have Sten Mar, Nyot, humanitarian. That's 13. Dr. Riak will come with his people. I don't think he will only have 2. He has 3 or 4. Possibly the 2 maybe have. Also have Dr. We also have Rebecca Nyadin, Rebecca Joshua X. I don't know whether to call her. I don't have the moral ground to call her ex-wife of Dr. Lam, but a wife of Dr. Lam. She has been with the government.
We don't call ex. If the wife
exactly.
Left,
okay.
We still call
that is 15. So and we also it's really hard that itself. They have more than 16 from Upper Nile, and even within Upper Nile, like the issue of Dr. Riak and Taban, it's going to be a big headache. It's going to be a big headache. They will, even if they work together, it's going to be a big headache because they come from one state. From Twitch, I complain a lot. It's only the people of Twitch who keep telling me to be quiet. But I feel we are not participating in this national government. We only have one deputy minister, and he was just put in recently because President Kiir knows very soon there is going to be the government of national unity and probably maybe throw away. So to me, the way I look at it, this piece is really, really. I know the first one didn't work, but this piece has a lot of challenges. However, I still think we could make this work out. Who would make this out? It's not, who will make it work out? It's not Dr. Yak. It's not President Kiir. It's not Lama Kol. It's not other people. It's us. If we South Sudanese, and I like one of the statement a girl made yesterday. He said the people who fight are youth, and we are the majority.
Actually, Malaysia attempt to disrupt you. A girl actually join us back. So if he's interested, you know, because people are saying actually they have a doubt that all these things will not be implemented. If he's interested to come back and just reassure people or answer this question, it would be really appreciated. But if he's not, no problem. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, thank you. I think he will still say so. If you ask anybody who have signed this peace agreement, they will say it will going to work, because these are politicians. They have the position, you know. So, but I like this the statement that a girl made yesterday, and I think he might have restated it again today, that the people who fight are the youth. You know, the people who support the government are the youth. The people who are fighting against the government are the youth. If we can't unite and say, you know what, enough is enough. You know, even you, nobody fights you. You know, you get money, but you cannot get back time. And if I am not mistaken, you have been there more than 3 hours.
Yes.
And this is your time. Nobody's paying you to do that. And I know that people have been there with you for 3 hours. There are people who make a lot of jokes. It's not because you want to have just, it's not for fun. It's because we are worried about our country. If there's a way we can unite and say enough is enough, you know, these people will listen to us. Because we will be the ones carrying the guns. And so this is where I stand. I think there are a lot of challenges with this piece, but we need, as youth, as people in diaspora, we need to say enough is enough, and we challenge people. You know, we challenge our leaders, and if we challenge them and we unite, it's not going to be easy to unite together, but at least let us find a common ground for the sake of our country. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming on and add your perspective. And I will tell again, no, actually people in Warab, there is a lot of smart people there. In every region of South Sudan, there is a lot of smart people. They can come up with a lot of solutions. So thank you so much, you know. And let me go ahead here and look on my list and see who's else here wanted to jump in. So, so Mariana left again. Actually, I see your request, but let me go ahead and bring this guy. I'll bring you as well. Nuri, I saw your request. Cecilio, I saw your request as well. I'll bring you in. But these people, they've been waiting for a long time. So, I'm sorry, Jamal, forgive me. I'm trying my best. I'm trying really, really, really hard. Mariana, you left. I don't see you anymore, so I have to bring somebody here. So,
Hello,
good to
Jongkor.
see you, brother. How are you? I'm doing good.
Good to see you, my brother.
Malej, I have an issue,
I was
update
like,
today
I was
with
surprised,
the
like
AT&T.
Yeah, my network was really very terrible. It could not even let me log in. But first of all, before I actually go in, let me say this. Like, I was hearing a term, you know, counting people who stood with the government and all this. Unfortunately, I did not hear anybody from a will. Is that not ungrateful people who are about? You know, actually, now, leaving that aside, actually, you know, most of us, just like you said, we have actually kept quiet. We're just going to watch how things are going. But let me go to a girl perspective on the interview. Here's what I'm going to say. Actually, a girl has actually talked very nice. I was really impressed with him. You know, I happen to have some fundamental disagreement with a girl on some of the issues. But on his interview, he actually did well. You know, he talked from the bottom of his heart, and that's what most of us want, you know. But here are a few things that I have to say. I remember a girl was saying that, you know, we have to write a constitution, a permanent constitution that will be able to do all this, like create an institution and things like that, you know. That one, actually, I disagree with him. The problem of South Sudan is not the constitution. It's actually the lack of will to even respect the constitution. We can write a very beautiful constitution, but it will just be in paper as long there's no any political will to implement it. And case in point, we have seen the constitution we have now. There are some of the things that has actually been violated and violated after, but the government hasn't even stood up to respect that constitution. We have people being arrested, and they are not even taken to court within the 48 hours as stipulated in the constitution.
Mm-hmm.
We have the governors that are actually fired by the president without the consultation with the people, and these are elected governors, and so on and so on, you know. And, you know, the problem of our country, when people talk about faith, you know, like people want faith and faith in government and in institution. The problem is, like, it's difficult to have a faith in the government, you know. And I will give you a very recent example. During the stand-up of the Blue House thing, there was a young man actually who took the law into his own hand, Carbino Wall.
I'll bring you a what? Go ahead.
Yeah, to be the part of that riot. And there was negotiation involved, and there were actually, you know, some seniors politicians that were involved, and the issue was diffused without any problem, you know. But what has come up after that is actually like, and this is actually, you know, and this is actually where it becomes a problematic for the citizen to even respect the government, you know. The government has went on, not only as they actually they frozen the account of Carbino Wall, but they have actually frozen the account of the business, the Warrior Security, you know. And for many people who do not know Carbino Wall, this is actually one of the young men that me personally would think that actually this is the symbol of what we would call the South Sudanese dream, if we have American dream, replicant of South Sudan. I was in South Sudan and I met this young man. This is a man who has actually worked very hard to build his business, very successful business. One of the business that we as South Sudanese are proud because it was built by the citizen, you know, through the hard work of the citizen. And this is what actually the government should be proud of and encourage, so that you have many businesses that are built by indigenous South Sudanese. And this business, the Warrior Security, has employed at least 2,000 people. And when you look at that number, even an average Warrior Security guy get $100 a month, which is a lot of money in South Sudan. The government officials don't even get that money, you know. And when you are going to close the account of the Warrior Security, that means you are putting this business out of the business, literally. So not only are 2,000 people losing their jobs, but their families going to be affected. And these families, when they not get the paycheck that they always get, they will not be happy with that government, you know. And then actually, when you look at the bigger size of it too, it raised a big confidence in the faith of the citizen in the institution of the governors. Because there's no way central bank, which is an institution that should be independent institution of the government, would actually be dictated by the nice security to close an account of a citizen without any due process of the law. Central bank as an
and get
independent
arrested as well.
would have been able to challenge that directive. If we really have a functioning institution in South Sudan, they would have gone to the court and challenged that directive of the night security, you know. Because why? It actually affects the faith and the confidence in the business in South Sudan. If I'm a foreign investor, why would I go to South Sudan to invest in an environment like that, whereby the night security can decide overnight to close like a business that employs 2,000 people, you know? Things like that are the issues that the government need to address if they really want people to have faith in the government, you know. That's one. And then second, with the implementation of the fees, if they are very serious to do the reform, then we should act like one of the things that I'm really very happy with these fees, there's a provision to have a constitutional court in the judiciary system. And this constitutional court will be very good for the country because why? It will provide the citizen opportunity to even take the government to the court. You can take the government to the constitutional court if they have violated the constitution, assuming that actually the government will be true to their faith to create an independent institutions. And if any state right has been violated, they will be able to challenge that, to challenge the government in that court, you know. So actually, I'm pleased with the girl, but all that he has talked about here, just like one of the young ladies said before a pook, you know, we are divided in this internet 1 year. There are people who actually, and they actually thumb their chest always that I'm a government supporter, you know. These are the people that anything the government says, they will welcome it with open heart and they will be sharing about it. But there are some of us who are open-minded, who actually, like, my loyalty is not to the government, but to the country, you know. People like us will be hard to be convinced unless we see something very concrete that's actually done, you know. And this will have to be demonstrated by fully implementing the peace in letters and spirit. That's the point that I just want to make, and I will yield the floor to some of your viewers.
Thank you so much, Dora Bun, for coming on and air your perspective as well. I have long list. Thank you, my brother. I'm gonna let you go and get other South Sudanese here to come in and make their perspective as well. Thank you, Dora Bun.
Thank you, Jongkor.
All right. I am so squeezed. So many people. I saw that. I know you're gonna be quick. Let me go ahead and bring Cecilio. Hello, Cecilio. Thank you for waiting. I know that it takes long time. Yeah, it took long time because there's so many people. Good. تفضل.
أنا بتكلم عربي.
يا ما في مشكلة. يا تفضل.
أول حاجة أنا بشكرك وبهيئك على الفرصة وبهيئ الجمهور بتاع كله. داير أتكلم معك في اثنين شق في موضوع ده. أول حاجة يا جونكور، يعني خليني أول حاجة أهيئك لأنه أنا متابع برنامج ده كويس من الاستضافة بتاعك. أول حاجة لبول مالونج، وبالتالي أدوغ نيابا ومنه توماس وجا باغانا موم. يا أخوي يتزول وطني والله يديك العافية.
شكرا.
أنا بتكلم معك ده الشبكة معك كويس من قبل، لأنه ممكن أنت ترند أكتر، لأنه أنا قاعد في جوبا. أنا قاعد في جوبا، ما قاعد في الدياسبرا.
واو.
أنا قاعد في جوبا وبكلم معك على الأرض هنا، ما كلام بتاع زول قاعد في أمريكا ولا بريطانيا ولا أستراليا ولا كده.
نعم.
أنا قاعد في جوبا. أنا بشكرك يا أخوي وبشكر أبرك أخونا إدوار، يعني أندرو، لأنه أنتوا الاثنين بالذات أنا أكثر ناس قاعد أتابع برنامجكم، وأنا بنحتاج لأمثالكم عشان نبثوا الروح الوطني. لأنه يومين ده يا جانكور هنا حتى محل الشاي الزول بيقول ما هو دمه، حتى محل الشاي الزول بيمشي ما هو دمه. شوف أنا وصلنا وين يا جانكور. ده حاجات ما بشبهنا وحاجات والله العظيم، يعني أنا كشباب متأسفين جدا جدا للوضع اللي فيه ده. أولا في موضوع بتاع السلام الماشي ده يا أخي جانكور، بصراحة كده حسب أن نفسيات السياسي في الشارع سلام ده فيها ملاحظة، فيها كويشن مارك يعني أو علامة استفهام. واجتماعيا طبعا أي زول بيفسروا بحواه.
نعم.
أي زول بيشوف مصلحته ما في ممكن ينتقدوا أو يشتم زاله. وشوفنا كيف انتوا قاعدين في الدياسبرا هناك، يعني بقينا اسفين والله، اسفين جدا جدا، لانه هنا التنشئه بتاعنا كجنوبيين ما زياده والله، وخدمه بتاعنا للجنوبيين ما على اساس ده، ولا كنا بنتمنى جنوب يصل للمستوى ده يا جنكور؟ احنا اسفين والله. ولا كيف يتزارق يا جنكور؟ كيف لما قلت داير تستضيف مثلا واحد من قيادات زي انكل قال له اجو تعرضت لضغط اجتماعي
نعم
من كوج يعني من كوج اول ولا كوج بارغزال ولا غادي
correct
هاي ين تشمونجي ين مو بار ادي بلغين لكن اريكم مونجي اسداري يفرقونا يعني عشان مصالح بتاع السياسيين مثلا. لكن ووق متضايق مثلا انا اسمح لي معلش لضيوفك انا قاعد اتكلم معك برطاء شويه، لكن داير اوصل رساله انه علينا واحد كجنوبيين وبلد ده بلدنا ومصيرنا واحد. داير اقول لك يا جونكور سياسيا السلام ده بخدم الناس اللي بدوا حرب ده من ناحيه بتاع الدول، وهم داير يجيبوا سلام ضد نفس الدول ده راي بتاع الشارع، ده ما راي، ده راي بتاع الشارع.
نعم
اجتماعيا الناس انقسمت هنا، وزي ما ذكرت لك قبل اي زول بمشي مع ولد عمه معلش طبعا عندنا ظروف بتاع الكهرباء وكده،
لا ما في
لانه ما في كهرباء شغالين بالسولار.
نعم
معلش اسمح لي يعني. لكن يا جنكر الوضع هنا يعني ما بعزز يعني الشراكه الوطنيه ولا بخلي النسيج الاجتماعي اللي قمنا عليه يمشي قدامه. والله ما في زول ما دار سلام، وما في زول برفض حاجه كويس، لكن سلام ده حسب اللي قاعد نشوفه ده في استفهام.
معلش I know الشبكة ما مساعد وكهرباء ما مساعد، لكن يا برادر سيسيليو أنا بحييك كل التحية for being courageous وتقدر تشارك بإمكانية وعشان تجي هنا وتضيف صوتك كمان لأصوات بتاعنا هنا في السوشيال ميديا. أنا بشكرك كل الشكر، وكل واحد هنا الموجودين في السوشيال ميديا مقدرينك كل تقدير، مقدرينك يا أخوي وصوتك سمعناه. I hope you be safe وربنا يكون معك all the time. أنا بشكرك كل الشكر يا أخي. Nuri, I will call you as well. Just give me a moment here. سعد والله يعني يحننك تحزن. عشان كده انا قاعد اقول دائما للناس بتاعنا، الناس اللي بتعبونا في جنوب السودان كثيرين جدا جدا، الناس اللي بتعبونا، الناس بتعبونا في واو في اول في مناطق كلها، ناس كثيره جدا اللي بتعبونا في جنوب السودان لانه هم عارفين ان احنا بنتكلم في كلمه الحق. We speak the word of truth, and that's why our people always they follow us. They want to hear, they want to know. So, Sandy John, welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan, my brother. The floor is yours. I don't know if you hear the interview between me and a spokesperson of Vice President Taban Dengai, Mr. Agel Machar, but if not, and then we can, give you a little bit recap, and then we move forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, shukran ak Jongkor Mayol. I have woken up and saw you busy talking about the issues of South Sudan, and I said I should at least add something to compliment my comrade Agel Ring Machar. You know, we have come a long way with Brother Agel since our time in Dimo. as Jesh Army who were trained and for the purpose of defending the country in the later stages of our life. But currently we find ourselves on the political divides line. Who was actually trying to be optimistic about the outcome has the optimistic aspect of his statement vested in something that I would call the interests of those in the government. When the first peace was signed, a girl was actually with Dr. Riek Machar, and we were meeting at some point in Nairobi, and we talk about the national matters. His radical stance as a governor of Twitch State, as per the appointment of Dr. Riek Machar Teny, were that Kir is too deformed to be reformed. And when he was persuaded to reach Juba,
Achol, don't go away. I'll bring you. Because I didn't see you there. Go ahead.
The J1 incident happened, and again was persuaded to accept that Taban is a leader, although Riek is the very person he thought was the best leader ever. And now they are with Taban, and he is telling us that this peace is good just because he is insider. If you look at it, it is not Kir that is more harmful in the country as per the perception of the other South Sudanese. It is Taban Denga himself who initiated the program that led to J1 explosion, and a dogfight was experienced by South Sudanese first time, and Riek was pursued for more than 40 days. If you look at it keenly, the idea of a girl saying that he will go to the airport and hug Riek, it is something just to complement a political ideology, and our sister has already mentioned that Riek Machar or Agel Machar was not honestly telling the truth. This group of Taban is harmful in the sense that they lack patriotism. They are not patriotic. It is not an attack on them, but they are not patriotic. If people are saying today that Kir has sold the territories of South Sudan to the Arabs, to the other countries, just because he would want to remain in power, I would say yes, they are right. But who is initiator of Khartoum forces being brought to the oil field? It is the very, very Lual Garkwath. And he is so much ungrateful that he did two great mistakes twice to Dr. Riek Machar Teny. If you look at it keenly, when the conflict erupted in 2013, actually Ezekiel Lol was one of the detainees, the current FDs, and who called for their release. It is the very Riek Machar who called for their release, until the international pressures were so high that Kir accepted to release them, and they were brought to Kenya. After a very short while, he switched to Riek. Eventually, after G10, the other part refused to be part of Riek Machar, and they stayed with Riek. And when people went to Juba, he opted to betray Riek again, having no appreciation for what went right. So this piece, even if people would be saying they are optimistic about it, it is a time bomb. It is another war that has been engulfed, encased in a peace aspect. But all in all, our interest as South Sudanese is that we need a peaceful country. And peaceful country comes only when the pertinent issues of concern have been addressed. The Khartoum Peace Agreement, as I am reiterating, has not actually addressed the issues pertaining the conflict of the country. It has created a bloated government. And a bloated government.
Sorry, look like the network. Go ahead.
Yeah, there are so many things that need to be addressed so that a country becomes peaceful. If you have heard of us being not participant in the peace process. And if you have heard of General Thomas Cirillo having decided not to be part of that peace agreement, he knew it is a danger, simply because it does not address the issues. It has created a bloated government. And very soon you will see this. Now the proposal is that FDs will be represented at the level of vice presidents, and they have already proposed Mama Rebecca. And there is already Taban there, and Riak is coming, plus maybe other two that would again be chosen among those people to represent what we refer to as the bloated government. Now, where is Baral Ghazal there? Kir will definitely be in conflict with people of Baral Ghazal because he does not represent them. If he is a president, he is supposed to be a symbol of national unity at the higher level, and he should not be counted for a certain region. What is it that Kir has done to assure people of Baral Ghazal that this is what will keep you in this bloated government? Nothing. Is nil. Kir has done nothing like that. And within his government, there are some sections that have been overrepresented. Those sections that have been overrepresented would be considered as the only people loved by Kir, and the rest will sway. I think that one is a good calculation, and it is good for us as South Sudan United Front. It gives us those remnants, those marginalized people to join us, because our interest is to overhaul the old government and change South Sudan to a new country that favors everybody, regardless of religion, creed, or whatever ethnic line you may come from. That is the South Sudan we're coming for. If you look at the peace agreement that Agel says will transform South Sudan, it is not transforming South Sudan. It is instead deforming South Sudan. Look at the crisis where South Sudanese are in. Of recent, a story was told about what happened in Juba. It is as this General Othmai was interested in seeing President Salva Kiir, and he could not get him for months and months. So he was advised to consult with Tutkew. And then Tutkew was the one to lead General James Othmai to see his colleague, President Salva Kiir Mayardit. If you look at that from the angle of sincerity, then SPLM has no vision because it has been hijacked by the houseboys of al-Bashir and some of his friends that were licking his boots the other time. And that one would make things worse for the country because the vision of the SPLM has been squandered, and the other ones are what we refer to as self-seeking individuals that are interested only in running after resources without national agenda. Where is love for South Sudan if you can give away Pantau? Where is love for South Sudan if you can give away Mayol, Abiy and Mayol 14? Where is nationalism if you don't care about Kafi and Kinji? Where is nationalism if you have allowed the gold and other mineral resources within the territories of Equatoria to be exploited by individuals into their pocket directly without converting it into something developmental for the country? Patriotism has died, and the owner who killed it is Salva Kiir by embracing the 10 codes and rejecting the true cadres. Those who were fighting alongside their colleagues that have spilled blood in the interest of ensuring that South Sudan is a home to all. Now look at it. Now look at what Kiir is doing. He is trying to maim people, just like when the institution that is supposed to be the power of the nation was captured by a mere inmate. The only reaction is to torture him after he has been asked by his parents not to fight because fighting would cause more and more escalations, and he was asked to surrender even if it means his death. They remain unforgiving. They are torturing him. I mean the case of our brother Lual Agog Kervino, who captured the National Security Headquarters, yet he is barely an inmate. This has shown to the world that Juba is the most vulnerable place in the world, where a prisoner would just wake up and capture the headquarters of the national security without shame. And then when asked, he would also accept to lay down the arms he had without committing suicide. And eventually the heartless government decided to torture him. Why would he again be tortured? Torturing does not mean physical beating alone. It involves the psychological aspects. He had a company, and from the reliable sources, he has gone into prison not because he supports Malong, but because his businesses were booming. And somebody in the security was interested in seeing those businesses not to boom because he would want to replace them. You understand? A business competition became national agenda where somebody is locked up in a cell for as long as the time our brother was kept in the cell. And again has been tortured in the sense that his company has to be closed and all accounts frozen. Now, if the company has been closed, who are the affected sections? That is the question to ask. It is not him. He is inside, he's an inmate. He might be eating from what government will serve him, regardless whether it is good or not good. But what about those people that he employed the other day? Those thousands and thousands and thousands of young people, they have already lost their jobs and they will be on the streets. In whose name? In the name of the man who arrested their bread provider. Is this the country we would go for? This is the same way a whole network that was serving the nation was brought down in one day. How many workers have the government of South Sudan employed as compared to the workers that were employed by what we refer to as people? Imagine some people might have bought adequate airtime and took that airtime to the most rural areas. And when the network was brought down in one day, they remain in possession of that airtime. And that is a lot of money that they could have used for their livelihood. Are they selling it to who? Who will buy airtime for a network that does not exist? This is how heartless.
Go ahead.
Have been happening. No matter how many ministers they will employ, no matter how many vice presidents they will make, lives of South Sudanese will not be transformed. Because ministers will only be given salaries and they will not extend services to people. A bloated government is equals to consumption of oil money by individuals without constructing roads, without empowering agricultural sector, without giving health services that are commensurate with the needs of our people. Children under 5 will continue to die. Maternal mortality will rise, and all the morbidities will be experienced, including lack of awareness in terms of HIV and other related health conditions. This is the country we call home. This is the country we call peaceful. This is the peace we appreciate to be addressing issues. By the end of the day, we have lost the credibility in the eyes of the region and beyond as South Sudanese, because we are known to only be lovers of positions and not the addressers of the reasons that led to the conflict. This is my contribution to what a girl was saying. And as somebody who has interacted with from China in of Dima down to Korchum and eventually to the territories of Sudan, that is not the Agel I know that was speaking. It is the new truth, not the true Agel Machar that we have interacted with. Agel can be capable of articulating issues of concern without fear. That is the nature I know about the son of Mama Adardit. But eventually generated to the Tabanic kind of politics where you target individuals, try them and call them a winner. That is the reason why Unity State is not happy. That is the reason why Bulunwe has been in the bush even after the CPA was signed. That is why Riek Machar was pursued for more than 40 days in the wilderness. Taban is not nationalistic. He hates, he is a hater.
Thank
He
you.
also implies what we refer to as divide and rule kind of tactics. Have you heard of a plight that could crush Unity State? The plight that was carrying a captain of Taban who was carrying uniforms and guns to a group of soldiers they call us. If they are loyal and if they have merged with the SPLM, why do they have a separate army? Those are the pertinent questions you would ask. If a girl was to be here, I would ask him directly that why do you have arms? What are you going to do with it? What you say you are part of Kir, merging with him directly, and you are usually under complete protection SPLA. Mr. Jongkor, we will create time so that we talk more. These days
Thank
we are redundant, we are called toothless. Yet because we don't want to spill the blood of South Sudanese. That is the reason why we are this quiet, but we are in place ready to engulf the South Sudan with brilliant ideologies and change the system in a manner that will bring something good on the tables of Sudan, Sudanese people, and that will bring them the harmony. By the way, harmony does not just come. An hungry man is the angry man. If South Sudanese have nothing to eat, they will not stop fighting. If South Sudanese are sick, they will fight each other because sickness one mechanisms for amendment, and these are the factors that have submitted our country to too much conflict. It is all about the mismanagement of the country in all sectors, and this is what Kir Mayar has ever refused to hear. He would always run after you that I need you to come for this position. Oh, come to this position. He would even tell you, Jongkor, that your media institution is trying to terrorize me, and you have nothing to eat from there. Atenwak is not a good man. Jongkor, come replace him. This is what Kir does. There was one Sanayet who was representing it, and when the other section cried, he removed him and he brought in the Paul Mayomakej and the other person in the expense of Irul. He is inciting people of Irul to fight with people of Rumbek that they have replaced them in the government. That's not the truth. He is dividing people to rule them.
Yes.
He is upsetting people of Irul today against people of Rumbek. And if they go into conflict, he is comfortably in the center doing his things in a messy manner. Kir need to go as a matter of honesty. But I like him in one aspect. He has been a patriotic man, but that is the past tense. We don't need to dwell on that. Why is he allowing his patriotism to be derailed by people who are interested in resources, such as Lual, who brought Arabs to come and guide our oil? Where did SPLA go? Is SPLA incapable of guiding our oil wells to the level of requesting for Khartoum forces? Even during the Bush days, our resources have not been protected by our enemies. We have to forgive Khartoum, but we must not forget about what they did to us. All those 2.5 millions, if they wake up today, they can be able even to capture us and transform us into a good society, but it's Khartoum who made them die. Kindly, we will meet again in the next session, but I am interested in seeing South Sudan being transformed. And for it to get transformed, Kir has to quit first because he is the insulator of everything. And he had a lot of administrative inaction. He does not make decisions that favor everyone. He makes his decision under the influence. I don't know whose influence. That's for the people to decide. And I salute our great concern South Sudanese for listening to my few words. And I am glad that we are still in the bush. We will join hands with those who are with us, and we will be able to kick Kir out, even if it means telling him in good faith to quit power without collateral damage. You know, if we use excessive force to remove Kir, we will destroy some South Sudanese in the process. And that is what makes us hesitant. I am happy. I salute you. Continue with the program and let South Sudanese interact so that they can know each other. If they don't talk, they will not begin to be harmonious. They will always be repulsive, which I think is not the best. South Sudanese need to interact more and more so that they develop what we refer to as cohesion based on the principles of nationalism, so that they can be an entity that is homogeneous and which is not divided on the tribal sentiments. Because tribe, we don't even see. We see ourselves as individuals. And it is only in our mind that we call ourselves this tribe. You, Jongkor, if somebody look at you, this would not be different from the face of Bakasoro. And why would my face be different from that of Thomas Cirillo? And why would the face of Thomas Cirillo be different from that of Salva Kiir? We are people of the same nation, and our identity is one. It is South Sudan. The only biggest problem is the mismanagement. And if we are being mismanaged, let us not say, oh, it is the Dinka that is mismanaging us. Let us say it is Salva Kiir that is mismanaging us. And Dinka are in the bush, not because they like living in the bush. They would want to see the transformed South Sudan where Equatorians, maybe Zande, Chilu people, as far in the far areas of Jebel Rat, the Bokol of Sudan, and the Kachipo are considered and reflected in the national image, even just by mere of road construction past Buma. What is wrong if a road passes through Buma to Nyalongoro, down to Nyat, to Kor Bulldozer, down to Korshum, and to Jebel Rat, our border with Ethiopia? Are those annual not useful to us? I think they are useful to us. Let us stop this thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You know, Sunday Dijon, the spokesperson, Dr. Sunday Dijon, the spokesperson with SSUF. You nailed it down. It was good to have you on the show. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead here and see other South Sudanese who are waiting also to make their perspective. It was good having you. Thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. Let me go ahead here and see. Nothing I can say. You already said everything. So I said we have to give chance to every South Sudanese to make their point. So I'm waiting for you, Agut and Mariana. Send me a request. Mariana, I saw you somewhere here, but you are not there. Aishol also was here, but she's not there. But it's your opportunity now. I'm gonna wait for you. Send me a request. Send in a request, Jama. And then you guys will complain, and you say that Jongkor actually doesn't want to call us. I'm still waiting for you. Don't be scared. No word from them. Let me try to check again. So good is not here, Mariana is not here, Achol is not here. So. Okay, I'll call you after that, Dr. Francis. Let me go ahead and call Luca Lado is dialing. All right, good to see you, brother. I'm sorry you waited for so long. I know we have so long list, and that's why it take to that time. So go ahead with your perspective. Luca Lado.
Yeah, thank you, Jongkor, for your show. I really appreciate it. I've been monitoring and watching your program for quite a long time. And I was also the. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Yeah, I also watching the Angel Masar, if I got it right.
Agel
Yeah,
Machar. Agel.
Yeah, thank you so much for that one.
Yeah.
So the man is answering the question in the political idealistic backgrounds. It's not realistic. It's not political realistic answering of the question.
Yeah.
Because most of this.
Mariana, you are not blocked. I see you now. I call you several times. You didn't want to send any request, and now after I call a person, and then you came in and you said, "Oh, am I blocked?" You are not, but you didn't send any request. I shout on you many times, but stick around. I'm still gonna bring you. Go ahead, brother Lako.
Yeah, when you see this peace agreement, as my sister said it clearly, and then also the former speaker now also analyzes some of the provision of the peace agreement. Peace agreement which signed recently is only for the politicians of their position, sharing their wealth of the nations and that kind of things, just to secure their lives and protecting their lives. But in the ground roots, we people of the Republic of South Sudan, we want the peace agreement that can reflect our lives, that can serve our children, that can provide services to ourselves and our children and our grandchildren. But when you see this peace agreement, it's just for sharing the powers among themselves. Nothing else we can see tangible for us as a citizen of South Sudan. First and most, let them transform that peace agreement into provision to be attached by the constitution and implement it. But there is some of the reservation within the peace agreement. Those who did not sign this peace agreement is a fellow citizen of South Sudan. They see things that cannot reflect the lifestyle. They cannot change. They cannot transform the life of the people of South Sudan. So why should we go to the peace that full of reservation? Is and every politician have that reservation for only guarantee their future life? And then President said it clearly that what is my incentive of signing the peace agreement? You said it in your previous show. What is the incentive of us as people of the Republic of South Sudan? What is that to us? The incentive to us as me, a politician, my incentive is only when I see my people are prosper, are smiling when they wake up in the morning, are happy, are getting the services, children go to the schools, children come back and getting a milk, a proper milk, like whatever any citizen from the grassroots up to the top level. This is the incentive for me, the politician, to provide the basic service to the people. This is what we want. But when you see this peace agreement, some of the people calling those who escape from signing this agreement are insignificant. How they call this insignificant? What led these people not to sign this peace agreement? Because of the previous one. Say it's clearly. It's not reflecting the lifestyle of the people of the Republic of South Sudan. First of all, the three level of the government. If we are really sincere to each other and embrace the lifestyle of the people of the Republic of South Sudan, we should accept that thing as simple. First of all, to separate the level of government, judiciary, and legislature and executive. And then we can also see the constitution that give the Masar answered it in the way the previous constitution give the powers to the president, and then we have also to look at it, and then we have to amend it, and then the powers given to the president abuse that power to mislead the people of the Republic of South Sudan. I do not see all over the world that one party can write the constitution. Party cannot write the constitution. But civil society can write the constitution wherever you go in the world. But that constitution which give too much power to the president is written by the SPLM party. How I feel that it is my constitution. I may not be SPLM, but I am not looking at there in that constitution. That means those who don't want to sign that agreement, looking at that negative, that mistake. We need to be sincere to each other. We need to move one by one by amending the constitution, by separating the powers of the judiciary, legislature, and executive, and then to implement it so that each and everybody can see his image in the nation. But
Thank you.
unfortunately, we do not see our image in the nation. So I don't know. To us, I'm not under this piece. I'm not part of it. I'm absolutely object it and reject it. But let us see how they will going to implement it, and then let us see how they're going to build trust to each other. When they build trust to each other and implement this piece one by one, as one of the speakers said, we have to implement this peace agreement in letter and in spirit. Okay, let us see that spirit and letter, which they are going to implement that peace agreement. And if they implement in spirit and letter, and then what is our role here? Our role will be negative. Those who are opposing this peace agreement, and automatically we will come and join it. And that is the South Sudan we calling for it. If they really sincere to each other, trust each other, and implement that peace agreement in spirit and letter. But I don't see so. So, my dear brother, thank you for calling me. So I don't want to prolong my speech. That is only my simple contribution in there. So,
Thank you.
Really, you are more than a South Sudan citizen, because you are bringing the issues that matter us, and then we need really to engage and talking to each other so that we can solve the problem. If we are not engaged into each other, it may be making it hard for us to get into ourselves.
Correct.
But when we listen to each other like that, we can make things simple, and our message will make different there. I think most of our people are watching back home, and then they may God change their heart, and then we may embrace ourselves as citizens of South Sudan. Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother Lako. And I have to apologize to all South Sudanese family, because everybody is affected by what's going on back home, the war, the corruption, all sort of a thing. And by doing this show, actually, we wake up husband, we wake up a wife, and then the kid will cry. So everybody's affected. You see, the children, we are waking up in the middle of night when the father talk, when the mom talk, when a sister talk. So we are all in it together. But you know what? We are all patriots. We love our country, and that's why we care, and that's why we have to have this kind of conversation. Thank you so much, brother, for making that comment. I'm going to go ahead and move here and see who is next. Mariana, I keep calling you. You need to come now, because I don't want you to go later and say, oh, Jongkor in his show, it was just an opposition, all opposition. But I'm giving fair to every individual here, whether you are a government supporter or you are an opposition. So please, I want to call you right now. Don't tell me that you started work. That's not going to work, okay? So I don't know where you are now. All right? So a few moments ago, you wrote a comment and you said, that's why I don't like your show, because you just bring an opposition. They are all South Sudanese. Everybody has right here to share their thoughts, and they have to contribute as well. So I don't know where you are. And if you guys see Mariana there, please, can you guys tell me, okay, here you are. I'm going to call you right now. You didn't send me a request, but I'm going to try it from this angle. I hope it's adding up. Don't deny it. Don't reject it. Go ahead and answer that. Go ahead and answer that, Mariana. I'm calling you now. Mariana Teak, please answer that call. So she's not answering. I don't know what's the deal with her. Yeah, I'm still giving this chance, you know, to the government support. Agud is not here. So it's for you, but I don't see them, you know, answering my call. Ya jamaa into kaifino le shinu. So Mariana is not there. Let me call Garang then. Garang, I'm calling you right now. Go ahead and answer, Garang. Garang Abulel, I'm calling you. Go ahead and answer that. So I don't know what's wrong with Garang. Calling him and he's not answering. How about call the Professor Nuri? Let's go ahead with Professor Nuri.
Yes, Baba.
Nuri, thank you. I like your spirit. You're being
Yeah.
patient. You waited for a long time and you left and you came back. So,
Yeah.
no problem. Go ahead with your thoughts and perspective here.
I'll make it short. I watch it. I watch his comment. I want to start. He changed a lot. He has changed a lot. 4 years ago, he wasn't comfortable with the idea that there should be intolerance of political violence. Now it seems to be saying that political violence should not be tolerated anymore. I remember he decided to join the IO military wing in order to change the current government. That was very interesting because I don't know whether he or not the spokesperson believe, and I'm sure if he's watching here, that would be really great. Whether he believe now that that the hospitals and infrastructure that he was so concerned about 4 years ago has been built now by the current president. If that hospital, if that infrastructure has not been built now in the region, then I'm really struggling to understand his state of change of heart. What happened? All right. And this seemed to be creating something else because it seemed to be he was comfortable with the war lost 4 years ago, but right now he seemed to be very uncomfortable with anybody who want to use war laws. He believed that war laws, they should be the things of 4 years ago. All right, because when he joined the IO, I think he was saying that you know, that violence was an okay thing to do, all right? But right now he's saying nobody should be allowed to do any political violence, engage in any political violence, or 4 years ago he was saying that no, there should never be suppressions of civil liberties, all right, because of these war laws. But right now he seems to be saying war laws, they are business of the day because the country is in the middle of the war now, all right? And then the white paper, all right? The government usually do this white paper, all right? He mentioned that there are programs on the white paper, but the implementation is not there. So the question, why is implementation of this white paper is not possible? What is happening, all right? And I'm not really sure whether he answered that one. What is preventing the implementation, right? Maybe he's part of the people who prevented implementation because he decided to accept political violence 4 years ago, and then he seemed to appreciate the idea of the diversity. All right, I don't know how you can do diversity in the very politicized, polarized nation like ours, like that, here is what I'm saying, all right? Here is what I'm saying. Politicians are politicians, but I think it is time to have a good politician, honest politician, all right? This is how we do this. Honest politician that would be able to do things for the people. But when we have too many dishonest people, politicians, they think this country would begin to fall apart. I think it is time to begin to go to church, go to mosque, and begin to ask God or, you know, religious or whatever would give them a room to be honest, because there seems to be a glorification of dishonesty, all right, and inconsistency that seem to be happening now. Now, it is not very difficult. It's not very difficult for four people like you and I to be a spokesperson. All right. I know they usually come from your region, unfortunately. So maybe I will not be lucky.
Come
But
on,
there are
man.
four positions
All
now.
the vice president come from Upper Nile too. The
No,
spokesperson
the spokesperson, all right, you have Atany Wet, he's from your region. You have him, he's from your region. And then maybe four other spokesperson would come from your region as to. Those positions are now free, all right? Because there seems to be a problem with honesty, all right? And honesty is going to kill, dishonesty is going to kill this country, all right? So I think the spokesperson for the first vice president was 100% uncomfortable with the state of affairs in the country 4 years ago. Now he seems to be okay. Well, a fifth grade or a third grade would be able to understand why he's changed his mind, because he's part of the system. All right, he's part of the system. All right, so he would not be able to say anything that would offend the state because he's part of the system. If I become part of the system, maybe I would be poisoned with this kind of dishonesty, and this is what is killing the country. All right, so I'm telling people there are four positions that are available that you can apply to become a spokesperson, and then from there we hope that you would be honest. All right, maybe a spokesperson for Dr. Lemakol, spokesperson for Riek Machar, spokesperson for Gabriel Johnson, and a spokesperson for unknown lady, because I don't know who would be
Riek Machar has already have a spokesperson in the house.
Okay. We just hope that, guys, can we be honest? All right, can we discussing that what actually went wrong, that you change your mind now, and why you took arm against the state from the first place, and what is happening now? Because if we continue to live in the bubble of political dishonesty, political inconsistency, we will never move this country forward at all. And it is not just enough to say we should not begin to actually talk about the past when you actually glorify the past in the past. All right, you glorify that and you justify it was the right thing. So I'm asking Mr. Spokesperson, Mr. Gale, to say, have we built hospital now in Warab? Have we built infrastructure now in Warab that you have been part of the power sharing government? I'm telling him because he seemed to say that don't talk about the past, all right? Because he was someone who wanted to make sure that there would be development coming to the region when he took the arm against the state last time. So there is a game here. It's a dangerous political game. So what do I mean? I think it would be time, Brother Jongkor, to begin to, all of us, we have to send our application to these people who would be coming to Juba.
I don't want to, Nuri. I don't want to.
Okay. If you don't want to, then you would be the right guy to speak about these issues. Because
and that's why I'm here.
Yes, you would be the right guy to speak about these issues because you are not in the business of conflict of interest. You're outside the conflict of interest, because the conflict of interest seems to be really playing in the mind of political elites, young political elites, senior political elite, to the point that conflict of interest has destroyed completely.
So now, Nuri, to conclude, so Agel Machar actually has spoken, and he said this time around is going to be different. They are going to build an honest institution. The judicial is going to be separated from legislative, from executive. So President Kiir is not going to decree someone who is just a watcher at the University of Juba, someone who is Ghafir, or someone who is a professor, or someone who is not going to decree those because the power are going to be separated. Do you buy that? You give them benefit of doubt?
You give me heart attack. This is you're giving me heart attack because I'm looking at the record, all right, of people who have spoken, all right, and in order to believe that, here is what I would be seeing, right? Here is what I would be seeing. I want the president to actually appear on live and say, from today onward, we must have freedom of expression so that people like Nuri would be
Good.
saying whatever they're saying in downtown Juba, appearing on the national television, and no security would become a knock at the door of or at my door, or maybe rounded me at night and take me to a known location. I want the president to do that.
So
I
you
also want
disagree?
the president. I also want the president. I also want the president to begin to actually make a clear statement that there must be judiciary independent. All right, the president can make that statement. You do not. The president should not wait for the transitional period to begin. The president can actually go on national television now and say, from today onward, we're beginning a new South Sudan, a new South Sudan, to say that today onward there must be a judiciary independent, and anybody who would be found to interfere with the due process for people who have been arrested, that person, you would actually be arrested. So I want the president to announce that. I also want the president to say that today onward there is a fine line, a check or balance between executive, how the executive would work, how the legislature would work, and how the judiciary would work. The president can begin to actually announce that and make a public announcement on the national television so that people would be able to see, okay, now we are about to make a new South Sudan. Because the first South Sudan, the old South Sudan, has failed miserably. So it is time for people to actually begin to actually call for a new South Sudan, all right? Because that was the manifesto of the SPLM, SPLA, to call for the new Sudan. Now, it seemed to me what goes around come around, that it seemed to me that they should be calling for the new Sudan, the new South Sudan, in order to begin all over again. Remember, the first transition after the comprehensive peace agreement was signed, the first transition has failed. All right, I'm hoping that the second transition should not fail again, and this is why I would hope that the president would come out, because it's the supreme constitutional barrier to say, look, it is time for the judiciary to be respected. It is time for anybody who is arrested to be given a fair due process. All right. I do not want explanation by people such as the spokesperson who come here and say, no, if you want me to comment that, I will go to Blue House. In fact, we want wrong people to go to Blue House. We do not want the right people to go to Blue House.
Correct.
So the fear in the eyes and in the mind of the spokesperson was so amazing. He was so afraid. Right? He could say, look, I am in the system. I cannot criticize my government. All right. He could clarify that and say, look, there's no need for me, or I would get fired. All right. Or I would get fired. So he could clarify that. But the fear.
Somebody call Nuri. Hopefully
The
he's back. Okay.
I'm afraid he was so afraid to speak. All right. I think he was going to say a lot of interesting insight, but there is the way you do it. All right. I'm telling the spokesperson now, here is the way you do it. Explain why you join, why you fought against the state. Explain extensively. All right. And he was going to be given enough time. Explain extensively. Explain why there is no development, because he took arm against the state because he believed there was no development going on in the country. Explain why the development failed. Explain why you decided, all right, to return back to the country after you fled, all right, with the chairman of the IO, all right, and join the first vice president team, all right. Explain that, and then explain the right of the presidency. Explain the right of the presidency. Explain the right of the vice presidency. Explain what is the common problem within the Republic of South Sudan. It's not enough to stick to your interests. You have to explain holistically, and then both opponents and adversaries, they would be okay with you, and then explain how you would be able to reach out to people who did not sign the peace agreement, all right? Explain extensively, because you are from inside. You should be able to have a skills and knowledge to explain to people what exactly is happening inside the country. You see, the politics in South Sudan is a selfing. It's a politic of selfie, all right? You, Jongkor, if they put you as the first vice president today, and you put me there on your team, the only thing I would get excited about is to take my photo with you. Is to take a photo with you, take a photo with Dr. Riek Machar, take a photo with President Salva Kiir, take a photo with Taban, take a photo with Defense Minister, take a photo with General. That's the only thing excites people. It's a politic of selfing, all right? Taking a photo and tell, okay, look, I was here. Look, I was here. I was in this hotel. I was in this hotel. I was in this venue. I was in this. It's a politics of image that is not about the country. It's a politic of image, all right? What kind of meal you ate, all right, in Istanbul, what
Let's leave
kind
it
of meal
there,
you ate
Nuri.
in China, what kind of meal you ate in Washington,
Nuri,
what
you have
kind
enough
of meal
time,
you
brother?
ate
So let's leave it there. Thank you so much. You have spoken
it's a politic
lot.
of selfing,
Yes.
which has nothing to do with the people of South Sudan.
Okay.
So I'm asking people, please, can you just stop?
Nuri, it looked like somebody called you again for that distraction. So let's leave it there. Thank you so much, Nuri. And thank you for coming in. You did very good. It was good to have you and get the perspective. Yes, President need to come out in national television and said, from now on, this is what's going to happen, right?
You have to tell them, brother Jongkor, let them stop selfing. Selfing too much without doing good thing for the people is never a good thing. All right. I don't care about what kind of meal you ate. I don't care about what kind of suit you put on. Do things for the people, and the people of South Sudan would be okay. Even President Salva sometimes is very humble. President Salva usually put the thing.
We're gonna leave it there, Nuri. So you have enough time. So thank you, my friend, because we have a lot of people have to come. Nuri Kwalgarang. It was good to have you. You need to change your name though. So go ahead and put your name. All right. It was good having Nuri. Let me go ahead and check those. Yeah, Jamal, I try. Who? Billy Luke. I try Mariana. Mariana is not here. I try Mariana many times. She's not here. Billy Luke. And actually I did what I can do. Francis Lual, I will call you, and then I will call you Namoga. Don't go away.
Oh, Brother Jongkor. Hey, how are you?
I am doing great. Good to see you. Kalam Katir. الليلة ده كان عندي مشكلة في distraction كده في network. So مفروض الانترفيو بتاع spokesperson of vice president يكون مع ده سوا. لكن أسف sorry, the network didn't cooperate because I have to update actually. They told me that you need to update. And then I did an update, and that's why we are good now. So what is your perspective, Dr. Francis?
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for the wonderful work that you are doing, and thank you for the time that you are giving to the people of South Sudan to enlighten them. And I really appreciate the work that you've been doing. You see, you remember last time there is a show that I did, and I didn't feel the stress. So when I ran that show, actually, I just realized how stressful
It's
is
hot.
running the show actually. So
Yeah.
from that day, I'm respecting everybody who's running a show actually.
Thank you.
So thank you for the viewer. I just have a couple of comment. I think a girl spoke as a politician, so actually a nice word, but in fact, yeah, he has a good character, but the problem is in the wrong directions. These people actually will not allow him to do anything. So I want to start from his position himself. So he's the spokesperson of the first vice president. There is no country that we have, for example, every vice president has his own spokespersons. That is unnecessary job actually. So you see, so that's mean when we have the
You
president.
want the guy to get fired? Yeah, come on, man.
No,
Behave.
actually, we need to save every single penny for the development. So if we are creating, for example, we are going to have 5 vice president, 5 spokesperson. For what for? There is no reason actually, because that is indication that you have something like 6 government within one government. You see, you have a 6 government within one government. You look at the White House. We have only the spokesperson of the White House. It's not Mike Pence doesn't have spokespersons.
But the State Department have a spokesperson, right?
Yeah, actually, but there are 2. But right now we are going to have 5 vice president. All of them, each one of them will have a spokesperson. So this I just taking the taxpayer money for nothing actually, because we should have one, so that we know that the government is united, and all of them they are working for one objective. But it looked to me when you have 5 spokesperson, that each individual have his own. And that's why you see a girl would not spoke about presidents. So what kind of the government? That is not a unit government. It's a government that is divided. And if you are divided, actually, you would not be able to achieve any objective.
I asked you, good point, Dr. Francis. I asked him why President Kiir is not traveling across the country. He hasn't been to Medingawul for years and years, but he has been to Kampala, Peking, all these, capitals. And he told me that I'm not a spokesperson for the president.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. I just wanted to let you know
that indication actually for them, everybody has his own objective, different from the other persons. You see, and the president, you see, our people, our leaders, especially the leaders of the SPLM, all of them, their focus is in the neighboring countries and in diaspora. Even their houses, they don't want to put it within the country, so they are just staying there, embezzle the money, and then take it outside and destroy the economy of the country. And you have seen in those videos actually, it was very embarrassing. You see, to see that the leaders of the country, they are the one who destroyed the economy of the country. At least if this money they took it and they invested within the country, at least the economy grows, the development could happen. But you see, we for them is becoming like a fisherman who went to the sea and fish and go whatever he's living. He doesn't stay there. So this is that is the problem that we have. The other thing also, he talked about the generation exit. We are supporting this agreement for one reason only, because actually we don't condone violence, and we are supporting the agreement because it will give the people of South Sudan to speak out who leader they want, so that they can vote and change their leadership. This is the only reason that we are supporting this agreement. And the youth, actually, we have a constitutional right. The constitutional right to speak about ourselves, what we want. We are 72% of the population of the South Sudan, and therefore we should not be ignored. And the issue of one ministry being given to the youth is not fair, actually. This is marginalization for the youth, and you need to know it from here. You see, and we would not accept that one, since we are the 72 population of the South Sudan. So the future of this country is ours, and we are going to be a part of the decision making within our own country. That we are calling the youth to unite, so that we can be able to take our right from these generations. So the issue of the Blue House, actually, we have the constitutional right, and therefore we should not be fear of going into the Blue House. What happened to Peter Biar? Nothing. So somebody can go into Blue House, and then tomorrow you will get out. So we should not be terrorized by the Blue House. And a girl has going to know that if he fears the Blue House, that's his own problem. But we have going to some people, the youth who are ready to make a change, who doesn't fear of going to the Blue House. The other thing also, yeah, they fought the war. They were saying actually because for the development and the change. What is the change that happened? The SPLM-IO and the opposition actually, and the government, they destroyed the infrastructure that they would not be able to build. There is no any single hospital that they have built since they come. And the existing hospital, they destroy it. And at the end, there is no objective that was achieved. And that's why we are saying the two principal parties to the agreement, they don't have anything to offer to the people of South Sudan. There is no any development that would happen. The development would come with a new leadership, with a new generation that will take power through the elections so that we can be able to put our country into
So,
the
Dr.
right direction.
Dr. Francis, with that, because you notice that, the two principles have nothing to offer to the people of South Sudan. They will not make any development rather than just coming and sitting in the office and V8 and jet and red carpet. So now, would you support them to run for election in 2021?
You see, we support them. There is no problem for them to run. But we have going to support it. We are 72%. If we 72% agree, so how many percent that they will get? They will get 28. 28 will not bring you to the power. Yeah, simply like that. So our mission right now is for us going to organize our youth and mobilize them so that actually in the next election we don't repeat the same mistake and we get this guy again
Yes,
in the power.
because my fear, Dr. Francis, if one of them won election, it's not necessarily Riek Machar or Salva Kiir or anyone, and then the incumbent president said, "Oh no, the election was rigged," or someone who was not incumbent, didn't win, and then all of a sudden say, "Oh, the election was rigged on my expenses." Don't you think we're gonna have another war of election being rigged here? And that's why sometimes it's a good idea, if they are wise leaders, they should skip that election of 2021, and then they can run for the following election. They're like what Putin did in Russia, to avoid the conflict of interest, so people can build that trust that had been lost for years and years. Don't you realize that area?
Yeah, that is a good gesture. Jongkor. And this is for somebody who is care about the country. But for this guy, they care about themselves, and therefore they would not be able to do that. They don't have the courage that if I were actually, because the SPLM government has been in power since 2005. What have they done? Nothing. So at least with the current crisis that has happened, they should have the courage and resign actually. Look into the national dialogue outcome. If you look into those results, actually they say that the president of the South Sudan should resign, the president, Riek Machar, they should actually distinguish power voluntarily. So what do you want? That is very clear message from the people of South Sudan that you guys, we don't want you anymore. And they should understand that. But for them, actually, they would not do that because they don't have the courage and they don't love this country. And that's why we don't want to deny them to come for election, to stand for election. But the only thing, we will not vote for them. So we send them, we embarrass them through the elections.
Okay, look like somebody called Dr. Francis.
Yeah.
So Dr. Francis, thank you so much for coming on, my brother today, and airing your perspective. It was very articulate, thoughtful, point there. So please stick around. I'm going to bring somebody else to add their perspective as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. No. All right, let me go here. It's been long, long, long day. Namoga. I know you waited for a very long time. I'm so sorry. We have long list. You left, you came back. But this is your opportunity now. Namoga, what do you think? You listened to Agel Machar, the spokesperson of first vice president of the Republic of South Sudan, Taban Dengai. And he said a lot of things. And you have listened to a lot of South Sudanese here also. So what is your insight, Namoga?
I didn't really listen to him, but let me just give you my opinion here. Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to say to us, we the people of South Sudan, that we need to stand up. Let's not be deceived by the government. This government is actually deceiving us, using us to fight each other so we can start hating each other, tribe to tribe, you know. This government is not for us. This government, they are just fighting for their pocket. If you see the majority of people that went to the peace talk, everybody get the position. If everybody didn't get the position there, they will not sign that peace agreement. So they are really fighting for themselves. It's about time for us to fight for ourselves. The government, there's nothing so-called government without people. We, the people of South Sudan, we are the government. So let's fight, unite ourselves and fight this government, remove them in that power so we can put the right people that care about the people of South Sudan, especially us who are in diaspora. People inside, they have no voice. You know, you don't say anything. If you say something, you know, you will be killed or you'll just disappear.
And I
like that.
salute, actually, I salute a brother who tuned in from Juba today, and we hear his perspective. It was very eloquent, very thoughtful. I salute him. He did well. So he went there. I shall him to give Masalan Mar come 50 pounds and charge his phone with that, and he used it. You know, it didn't have enough. So that's the courage that we want. So continue, please.
Right. So it's up to us, people of South Sudan, to unite. We 64 tribe. We need to unite. We need to fight this government together. It's our opportunity to fight them and remove them from the power. Because if we don't remove these people is going to use us. We're going to kill one another. We are the one actually killing each other, not them. Not them. We are the one killing each other. So for our brothers, I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart. For brothers Dinga, you need to know, you need to understand, you need to differentiate between government and Dinga. When we talk about government, we talk about the government because that government is ours. It's for all of us. When you talk about Riek Machar, we are not talking about Nuer. When we talk about the president, Salva Kiir, we are not talking about Dinga. We are talking about them because they are their leaders. They are our leaders. We have right. They are not doing a good job for us. They are killing us. So we have right to speak up. We have right to say what we have to say. So our brothers Dinga, you need to differentiate between the government and Dinga. That government is not for Dinga. The government is for all of us. All of us. And we have right to say what we have to say. So let's stop killing one another. Let's stop hating one another. Let's stop doing wrongdoing for one another. These people, they are fighting for themselves. They are not fighting for us. They are fighting for their wallet. Their kids are going to school somewhere, the best education they can get. And if we don't stand up now, they will use their children. They will use the same system to use our kids, to punish our kids. So if we don't stand up right now, our kids will suffer the same suffering that we are suffering right now. So let's forget about everything. Let's unite and fight this government together. Stop hearing like, oh, I care about this, I care about it. They don't care about nobody. They only care about themselves. So it's up to us, Jongkor. It's up to us to stand up and say, you know what, enough is enough. We've been deceived enough. We give them several opportunities, but these people, they're deceiving us. They think we are dumb. We are not dumb. We are awake. You know, we are awake. We give them some opportunities, several opportunities, but they don't take it. They are using us. They think we are naive, but we are not naive. You know, we are not. And let's not believe in this peace. This peace is just a way. They don't even want peace themselves. Do you know why, Jongkor? Because if there's peace in South Sudan, and then everybody is gonna be playing by the law. How you gonna get a chance to steal the money? You are not gonna get a chance to steal the money. Them themselves, they don't want peace. They just want to go inside and they start fighting small by small, small by small. One person will be running away. If it's Dr. Riek Machar will run or the Salva Kiir will run, the one person will run away. Again, rebel is here. So we are not going to give them this opportunity. Let's start rejecting all this nonsense from now and stand up and let's speak up. Whoever has a voice, let's speak up, let's unite and fight these people. Because these people, they don't even want peace themselves. You know, if the species in South Sudan, do you think they will be able to steal all these millions of dollars? No. Can you imagine? Look, one person will have like $1 million, and those people down here, they don't even have $1 that to buy even sandal. You know, people are sleeping in the street. Our kids are dying every single day. There's no hospital. And you are thinking that the peace is going to come. No, peace is not coming. But we need to stand up. We need to assure them that, you know what, guys, you deceive us. Enough is enough. It's about time for us to stand up and take these people out. Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar need to leave. We don't need them. We need new faces. We need to put people who can understand. People like us. People like me and you, Jongkor, who went through hell, who can understand the pain of others. You know, when they went to that bush, they are not the only people fight. Even us, the young generation, young kids, we pay. We pay with all this. We went through hell for us to get here. So thank you for the opportunity, my brother. I just want to assure our brothers, Dinka, please, you need to differentiate between government and Dinka. This government is not for Dinka alone. Inside the government right now, you can find Dinka, you can find Nuer, you can find Equatoria, you can find all these tribes inside South Sudan, people who are working in the parliament right now, people who are working in the government. So when we are talking about the government, we are not talking about Dinka. When we are talking about whatever Salva Kiir is doing, it's not Dinka. We are talking about Salva Kiir because Salva Kiir is our Reis. He is the president. He's the father of South Sudan. He's the father of that country. So we have right to talk about the president. So thank you so much, my brother.
Point well said.
So I know there's a lot
Thank
of
you so
people,
much.
a lot of people waiting. So I will give them opportunity also.
Madam, thank you so much.
Renate,
Yeah, wonderful night. All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, let me go ahead here and see who's next. Send me a request, brother Thomas, so I can get you because your request didn't come. Let me go ahead. Taban James or James Taban. Zol Kabir Bitayo. Good to see you, brother. I can't hear you. Nena mas amin so Taban. I can't hear you at all. We cannot hear you. Actually, you can quit the headphone. Just use the normal one. Here we go.
Kida sameni?
Yes, kida ana samek. Mia.
Yeah.
Good. Well, like good to see you. Tamalak we start tamachi tadar kuro you. Wala da fi bet.
Ana قاعد في البيت.
Any خلاص. أنا قاعد هنا كم ساعة.
شكلك كده النوم خلاص.
I know it's not easy. زي ما Francis قال قبل, conducting a show is not an easy thing. You know.
I know.
So let's get your perspective real quick عشان نقدر نجيب ناس تانيين كمان, and so we can wrap it up.
Okay. Anyway, I thank you. I thank all the audience. In respect for what Gail Mashar talk about, you know, he represented himself really good. Yeah, he was articulated, but for me, you know, I'm not buying anything for what he said. For what reason? Because, you know what, I believe that he's a guy with no principle, you know. He was good long time ago when he was, you know, talking about real stuff. But since he joined Tabandengai, then he lost credibility already. So whatever he said, you know, that's mean, you know what, I'm not gonna buy it. Maybe some people will buy it.
Well, the guy said this time around, Riek Machar, Salva Kiir, Taban Dengai, and others, they will, you know, hold hand in hand, and they will do the right thing to the people of South Sudan. Why are you having a doubt?
I'm having a doubt because this is not the first time, you know. It happened, you know, it karar katir, you know, and then even us as the South Sudanese people, we lost, you know, we lost hope. We lost hope in politics. We lost hope in everything that's going on in South Sudan. And one thing I want to say is, like, even us in the media too, I feel that we're just repeating ourselves. You know, we're talking about corruption all the time. We're talking about the bad governance all the time, but nobody give a damn about what we're talking about. Even Salva Kiir, if he's like want to change himself, he would have changed himself a long time ago. But we just keep talking, okay? Let's come. Let me come to the point that what we're supposed to do as youth, as people of South Sudan, as tribes. Many people like Namoga, tackle that question, and Dictor
Go ahead, Francis.
tackle that question. That we have to come together as one people, one youth, But the question is like, how are we supposed to do that? Yeah, it's easy for us to come together in social media, but in real sense, how are we supposed to do that? If you see right now in the United States, as South Sudanese, we don't even have like one community that, that we can unite under its umbrella, We don't. We have a Will community, we have Nuer community, we have ESCA, we have different, communities. But as a South Sudanese, we don't even have a single South Sudanese community that unite all of us together in diaspora, all right? And we are the change. We're supposed to be the change. But if you can unite ourselves outside, how do you think we're supposed to talk about changing the South Sudan? That's why every time people talk in the media, just repeating stuff, repeating the same thing. The government is bad. There is corruption. Yeah, we know that. But what are we doing about that? That's what we're supposed to do about it.
We are letting them know that change must come in a good way, and we have to have a system. And actually, that's why we are here. That's why you are here, me and you today, speaking.
Yeah,
James.
but only talking about it won't solve the problem. Only thing will solve the problem is for us to come together. But the question, the core question is like, how are we going to do that? How are we going to come together? That's the problem here. If we answer that question, that means the change will start coming. The change will start, coming right away. If we answer that question, how are we going to do it? All right?
Yes.
But if we keep talking the talk, not walking the walk, that means, the dayat azaman, kullu marra, and the dayat at energy zatu. All right? That's why you see me sometimes, you know what? I lost hope. In the politics in South Sudan. I lost hope in everything, And I got shubnas going to the kalam repetitive, kalam mukarrar. We're talking about same issue, but no change, So أنا ما أمشي كتير أنا هدي ناس الباقي ناس فرصة لكن إحنا ما نتكلم كتير and I want you Jongkor يعني you supposed to put the initiative that next time talk about how we can come together as youth, how to find that mechanism. Inshallah تعمل لك رابطة زي هناك في Seattle, the South Sudanese, you initiate that initiative,
You are working on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taman James, for coming on and airing your perspective. Let me move ahead, and call other people. It's been a long time, Jamal. I'm getting tired, but it's okay. We have to put up with this. No problem. Shukran, Taman James.
All right.
Okay.
بين وعدك وقربك كم شابت ليالي كم كل العيون من أنوار ولون تبني عليك كون كم كل العيون من نوار ولون تبني عليك كون أسرار المحاسن خيال الأماني وصال الشجون والكلمة الرقيقة
I'm gonna try you turn again. Garang Abu Leil, I'm gonna try one more time.
والناس المشاعر من رسام لشاعر شالوك في العيون يوم بدربك انت شفت الدنيا انت والشوق كله ليك
calling you. You look like Garang Abulel is not there. Let me call Panchol. Bill, look, I saw your request. I'll bring you as well. Panchol. Panchol, I'm calling you. Panchol.
Hello.
Good.
Hello, yeah, brother.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Good to see you, Panchol.
Thank you very much. شكلك كويس يا اخوي.
الحمد لله ربنا يخليك.
شكلك كده بقيت تعبان.
يا لكن وللأوطان في دم كل حر يدا سلفت ودين مستحق.
معلش انا جيت متاخر ما سميت المبدا بتاع الكلام.
نحن تكلمنا في حاجات كتير، طبعا كان في حوار مع المتحدث الرسمي باسم النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه تعبان دينجاي مستر أجيل مشار كان هنا معنا، سالناه اسئله كثيره جدا جدا. تكلمنا عن قضايا السلام والمفروض يحصل في المستقبل شنو. ده نقطه حوار اليوم.
اوكي ولا انا بس داير نقول لك حاجه.
قول كلام.
انا زول جنوبي حر ودارين سلام.
نعم.
دارين جنوبيين يجيبوا سلام. يا اخوانا الجنوبيين ده 11 مليون. ولا ولايه في امريكا ولا في الصين. والناس بساط جدا والناس مساكين يعني ما عندهم اي حاجه يعني. انا بمنى يعني لو قال لو دارين 10 نائب رئيس زادوا ويجيب سلام في الجنوب ممكن يجيبوا. ما في واجه. انا الناس بقى تعبانين. الربل زادوا بقى تعبانين والحكومه زادوا بقى تعبان والشعب زادوا بقى مضر شديد. هو كويس يا براذر. في ناس بقول سلام ده ما سلام، لكن انا قاعد نقول سلام ده سلام حقيقه. انو ناس كله بقى تعبانين. نائب الرئيس
متحدث
النائب الاول والنائب الثاني والنائب الثالث
نعم
والنائب الرابع. المهم ما مشكله دايرين سلام في اخر يا براذر. انا الشعب بتاع الجنوب هسه لما نشوف في خرطوم، انا كنت في خرطوم قبل شهر، ناس تعبانين شديد. كمان في يوغندا في كينيا في مصر قريب ده ناس بيقتلوا كل يوم. ده عدم دولتنا تعبان. دايرين سلام يجي. اي زول في راسه يقول ما بسلام كلام ده ما صح، كلام ده كذب. سلام جاي. سلام جاي عشان الشعب بتاع الجنوب يرجع في محله. أنا ناس بقى تعبانين في باقي الدول وباقي الدول دير زادوا. يعني ناس أشوف في كينيا ناس بيسجنهم كتير في سجن ناس. ده مواطنين بتاع الجنوب المساكين. في خرطوم كمان في قريب 300 في سجن. كويس. في مصر كمان في قريب 500 في سجن. هنا دايرين سلام يا برادر. أي زول يقول ما بسلام ده كلام ده ما صح. كلام ده ما صح. لازم سلام يجي في الجنوب. لازم شعب المسكين ده يعرفوا بأنه ده دولة بتاعه. أنه في لو بقيت في أمريكا في أستراليا في كندا وما عندك دولة ما في زول بيحترمك. زول بيحترمك كده ما في. هو كويس نقول لربنا يجيب سلام في الجنوب. يعني كان في ناس بيقولوا جيتين ما دايرين سلام. في ناس بيقول تومي سيريلو ما داير سلام. في ناس بيقول ناس مالونغا وان ما داير سلام. كلام ده ما صح. ما بزول ما داير سلام. كلام ده ما صح. أنا بجيب مع الناس اللي بقول دايرين سلام في جنوب السودان. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you brother. It was good to have you Panchol. أنا بشكرك كل الشكر. ربنا يخليك.
يلا.
Okay. يا جماعة أنا لسه في انتظار. I am still calling. ما في زول من الحكومة هنا. I don't know why. أنا ما أعرف. ناس بقى فترانين. I know. Okay. Ngor, I'm calling you. Go ahead and answer that, Ngor. calling you. You look like you are not responding. I don't know why. So you are out now. I don't see you anymore. So let me go ahead for Gerda. I called you before, but it looked like your network, it didn't, accept. So let me go ahead. Ngor Ujang, I keep calling you, but you are not answering. All right, here we go. Ngor, how are you, brother? Good to see you, and thank you for being patient.
Yeah, thank you. شكرا لك يا جونكور. أنا عاوز أتكلم عن السلام ده بطريقة تانية مختلفة.
نعم.
لما نسأل المشكلة في ساوث السودان، عمر البشير جاء عمل خطبة قال إنه في ناس ضربوا له تليفون قال إنه كان يمشي يحل مشكلة شاب في الجنوب. يمشي يحل مشكلة الجنوبيين. فعمر قال إنه ليه يضربوا له تليفون؟ وهو كان عدد الجنوبيين حقهم قدام دولة بتاعتهم ومشوا. ليه الناس اللي كان اليد القفية اللي خلى إن الجنوب ينفصل يمشي، ليه الناس ديل ما يجوا له عشان يقوموا ما يمشي يحلوا مشكلة الجنوب؟
نعم.
ده كان كلام وقام رفض. ليه؟ لأنه كان اقتصاد الشمال كان في حالة جيد، وفي الزمن ده الجنوب كان يعني ما بطال. فكل ما اقتصاد الجنوب كان ماشي تيت، اقتصاد الشمال برضه ماشي تيت. يعني انت شوف بس في خرطوم يعني الناس الايش بالكارت، شفت، والصف البنزين وشنو نفس حاجه بالسنتين ده.
نعم.
فعمر ودقس اصلا الناس اللي قالوا له الكلام ده انه يا اخي امشي هي المشكله الجنوب، الناس دول هو نفس الناس اللي بيعرفوا انه الجنوب ده كل ما مشى تات كل ما الشمال بتمشي تات. يعني هو البترول لما بنعرف انه كيف انه تم الاتفاقيه بتاع البترول. يعني الشمال هو المستفيد من البترول، الصين مستفيد الاول والشمال، وبعد ذلك افراد في الجنوب ما الشعب. فلما قالوا له الكلام ده هو ما كتب باله. فهسه الاقتصاد وقع، فجنتها بدون الناس. وين الناس اللي كانوا ضربوا له تليفون عشان نمشي هي المشكله الجنوب؟ وين الناس دي؟ قالوا كان طالبوا منه يكون قاعدين، وليه يمشي ارسل البترول؟ يعني ليه انه يقود الجيش بتاعته يقول انه لا انا بارسل البترول؟ ودي هو الاشكاليه الاصليه اللي نانو كجنوبيين بنشوف انه يعني الطريقه بتاع التفكير بتاعنا سمتايم بتيجي متعكر.
نعم.
يعني الهم الاول للناس السياسيين ولا هو المهم دي همهم الاول هو انه يلقى حقه، لكن الشعب هو المتضرر. يعني الجنوب الاسي القاعده دي يعني فرق كبير بين جنوب اللي كان لسه كان مع الشمال. يعني كم سنه يعني الشاب بتتعب كل مره نازل تحت. يعني فالحل الكلام اللي انا بجاي نقوله بسيط جدا، انه هو في الشكل طبعا الناس هسه بيفتكروا انه الحل دي عند الشعب، والحل ما اعرف عند ديل كله. الحكومات ده ما بتجيب الناس اللي في الحكومه ده ما بيجيب لك الحل. ما في الحل هنا، الحل في يد الشعب، لكن الشعب هو تعبان ذاته بحد ذاته. كويس. فالكلام المهم انه يا شعب الجنوبي، انا دائما داير نقول انه طبعا مارسنا سياسه شويه كان في الجامعه في كده في جنوب السودان وبنعرف البيت بتمشي كيف، لكن انا بنقول للناس يا جماعه يا قبائل اللي بتكون الشعب بتاع الجنوب ده، انتوا شوفوا في المسألة بتاع الجنوب في هذا الاول، وحتى بالكمياتكم القبيليه القبائل مثلا النسبه بتاعتهم عاليه وشنو كل دي ما بفرق في انه يكون الشعب الواحد. كويس. لانه بمراحل التعليميه وبالنسبه الموجوده دي وبالتعليم انت هتلقى المتعلمين الكبيره ومتعلمين بالصف وماشي تجي. كويس. نحن دارين الناس اللي عندهم مقدره، لانه التوجيه بتاع الجنوب للناحيه الشرقيه لافريقيا الشرقي دي غلط سمتايم. يعني انا بشوفه زي غلط، لكن انا ما اعرف طبعا هي زول عنده الرؤيه بتاعته، يعني انه ننفتح للاتجاه بتاع يوغندا ولا دي
ايست افريكا.
دي في اشكاليه بحد ذاتها، لانه انت اللي شفت انه الاتفاقيه ذاتها منو مسفين ما مشى ده يشوف حقه وين برضه، لانه يوغندا في نسبه التطوير في الاقتصاد بالنسبه 8%. ده جاء من وين؟ جاء من جنوب السودان.
نعم.
شفت كيف؟ فهو داير يمشي لازم يتاكد انه 8 بتاعته ما مفقود، يكون قاعده ويكون داير انه الحرب ده يستمر، لانه البتاع ده ما بيجي من الثمانيه دي. يعني الاقليه دي وبالنسبه بنفس الطريقه للشمال السودان، شمال السودان شاف انه الاقتصاد بتاعتي مشت.
نعم.
ليه؟ لانه مبني على البترول فانا ما عاوز اطول لك، انا عاوز اشكر، يعني اشكرك جونكور، وبعدين انا بتمنى انه الشعب الجنوبي يعني بعد كم سنين التعبانين فيه ده انه يلقوا حقهم ويقدر انه يعيشوا الحياه البسيطه، يعني بالذات الشعب اللي قاعدين بيعيشوا على المزارع المعتمدين على الحياه بتاع الزراعه وشنو المدكتين ديل. يا اخي كلهم، يا اخي كلهم يزرعوا الزراعه بتاعتهم ويعملوا الحاجات بتاعتهم البعيده عن الحكومه وبعيده عن السياسه. يا اخي كلهم يا اخي. فشكرا لك وشكرا لكل الشعب الجنوبي القاعدين هناك، وكل واحد المموت من الملاريا اللي كنا ما بنموت منها، وكل واحد هناك يا اخي. انا بتمنى انه ينادلوا من اجل الحياه بتاعتهم ده، وان شاء الله الفرج بتجيهم قريبا. وشكرا لك يا جون.
شكرا. انا بشكرك كل الشكر برادر نور وجان for your contribution. يعني رايك محترم وراي كل واحد محترم. Let me move ahead here and نجيب ناس تانيين كمان اللي هم منتظرين. So I'm gonna go ahead here, Joel. I saw you came back, so I wanted to call you. I don't know if you're still there. I really want to give everybody an opportunity, you know, so you can make your point as well. I will call you for sure, Billy. Look, but I want to give a Joel an opportunity. I don't know where when also she was here. So let me go ahead and do this. And so she's not there, so it's okay. I saw your request as well, Teresa. Let me go ahead with Billy. Look now. Billy, look.
Yes.
Good to see you, man. You moved to Australia.
Jongkor.
Tell me when is the wedding so we can go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for the opportunity, Comrade Jongkor. This is a wonderful show, and I always support you. I always feel proud of your great show, and a lot of people love it. All South Sudanese.
Thank you.
They're all united under your show, and this is what we are here to always encourage you. Continue to do the good work, you know, keep up the good work. This is a show that we have to concentrate, all of us as South Sudanese, and so I strongly support you. Keep up the good work. I just came to say congratulations for the good work that you are doing on behalf of South Sudanese. Even all South Sudanese politicians are trying to reckon to come to your show. You know, they wish. People have been shying away from the social media for quite some time because they have that misconception about the Facebook or social media as an abusive mean of communication. But now they are trying their best to reckon with you and try they can have that opportunity to be interviewed on your show. So this is exactly a great show.
Thank you.
So I just want to acknowledge you on that. And coming to Brother Agal Machar for his interview, he did a very good job. Although I have not listened to his interview when you went live earlier, I was still sleeping, so I just woke up and then came to join you on your second show. So I respect Brother Galmachar. He's a great guy. He's a political savvy. He's politically articulate and assertive, and we do appreciate that. Unfortunately, there is a common say that that goes that when you associate yourself with a SIP, you know, you will also be considered a SIP, right? I think that means when you know that something is bad and you continue to associate yourself with it, you will also be considered a bad person as well. So this is where great people like Brother Agal Machar come to damage their own reputation when they continue to associate themselves with the wrong politician or wrong government, wrong regimes. So for him to come here and say that they are there as an agent of change, and we are not seeing any kind of reform materializing in South Sudan, this is very, very unfortunate for us as concerned citizens of South Sudan. So it is a shame to see Brother Galmacha to support that regime in that regard, because particularly Taban Dengai, the vice president, because Taban Dengai is the man behind the kidnapping, the abduction of the political activists and political supporters that are opposition to the regimes, the ruling regime in South Sudan. It was Taban Dengai who came up with that idea of abducting the political opponent in Eastern Africa. So this man is responsible for what is now happening in J1, or what has happened recently in the prison in the prison of South Sudan. Yeah, between the prison inmate and the security, national security forces. So it was Taban who came with this idea. But everything, there was no idea that South Sudanese who are opposed to the government should be abducted from East Africa. In addition to that, it is Taban Dengai who is also responsible for the betrayal of South Sudan, the independence, the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of South Sudan has been betrayed. So the question is, where is this sense of integrity or sense of nationalism whereby a politician, a great politician like Taban Dengai can defend the nation? I personally know Taban Dengai because he comes from the former Unity State, and we know this guy in and out than anybody could lecture us about him, because he's a betrayer. He is the son of Arab. He's the son of Jalava. Even though he was adopted by his mother, that's why he became a citizen of South Sudan nowadays, because he grew up with a
Billy,
mother.
look, we cannot say the son of
mother,
Arab. That's not be good. That would be so offensive. He's a South Sudanese. That we can disagree with.
Correct.
Yeah, we cannot call him son of Arab. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So Taban Dengai is a very dangerous man. In addition to that, the entire regime, including that of Salva Kiir Mayardit, is also associated with corruptible practice and management of the national resources of South Sudan. So the entire system is corrupted to the core, and for us to achieve a prosperous goal in South Sudan, we have to call for a rapid change, an absolute reform of the regime, and we can do that through election. And so, as South Sudanese, what we are calling for is the opportunity to be given to South Sudanese so they can elect their leaders. That's why we have to call for the judiciary independence, so that all South Sudanese can be able to elect their leaders, whether they elect their president, they elect their governor, their MPs, commissioners, Payama administrators, and Bumo administrators. Everybody have to be elected. And this is the opportunity Salva Kiir refused to give us. So I have a high regard and respect for all brothers who are working in the government, but you have to bring about a real change. This is what we are looking for. I have uncles who are working in the regime. Unfortunately, I refuse to go to South Sudan and look for a job. This means I want to stay away from the bad system. Otherwise, this is why, like the like of Agal Machar, damage their own dignity and respect. You know, he's a very articulate and assertive political guy, but we lost respect for people like that, and this is how you damage your own legacy for future, future opportunity that you may have. So thank you very much, Brother Jongkor, to up the good word, and we're looking forward to see a reform anytime soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Look,
Have a good day.
there from Australia, and don't forget, remind me when the wedding is gonna take place. I see that you are gone, but it's good, man, to have you on the show. Let me go ahead and see, and who is there. So let me go ahead. I saw you, Teresa. I'm gonna bring you in as well. So, hello, Teresa. How are you?
Hey,
It's
Jongkor.
good to see you.
Oh,
So
that's been a long time,
I
really.
know you
Today,
absorbed a lot,
you
and
overstayed.
I was having very technical problem, but
Yes,
finally I managed. I called even Facebook, and they say no, nothing wrong with your account. And then I
yeah.
called my carrier, the AT&T, and they said actually we sent you an update last night, but you didn't do update. That's why everything piled up, and
Oh,
affected your live. And then they live Facebook. So they did everything, and that's why we are good now.
now, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see that.
So
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Thank you very much for giving me the chance. And first of all, can you hear me well?
Yeah.
My voice is clear. Yeah,
Clear. Yeah, Diana, انتظار كتبت الكلام غلط.
yeah, yeah. So I just wanna thank you for giving me the chance, and also want to salute all the South Sudanese over there for listening. For the show of today, as for Agel Mashar, as a young, let's say, politician, yes, no problem for him to speak his mind. But he was in some point very superficial, like not giving the right or accurate answers, especially when you ask him about what is happening in Western Bar Ghazal. He told you that he was not updated or briefed by those issues. How come
He
we're
said
living in a modern time?
He said he's out of the country and he's not aware
Out of,
with the
yeah.
situation. Yeah, of course, he's in Canada, but I don't know the nature. He's not connected with the people on the ground in Juba. That's I don't know. But now
We are
he's
living
visiting
here.
Canada. That's what I know.
Yes, we are living outside, but we get all the details, all the information from every corner of South Sudan. Not only South Sudan, around the globe, we get everything. So I see that just as a very poor excuse. So, but for what he said about the agreement that those people are going to implement it and so on, this is very poor answer to me. How you're sure about politicians who have been fighting themselves? Plus, actually, he said something about the that agreement was negotiated and so on. It's not true. That agreement was not negotiated. There was only just paper. They bring paper to you and you have to sign. There was nothing there. People sitting to discuss something. So this is also, I think, is very superficial answers that he gave. Yeah, this is in my opinion. And as for him saying that those of Taban will welcome what his name, Dr. Riek Machar, and so on. This is going to be just a kind of drama for people to see. But actually, what they have in their heart, the political will that they have, this is what is going to determine this in the future. Yeah, and when he said that the problem actually brought the war last time because of the two army. If he's talking about two army, that those two army, they were in dispute or fight for 3 years. But what about those now who are going in? Are they not also in fight by themselves before? Are they not going to fight again? That's the problem here. And the other thing I want to say, that I want to send my solidarity with the people of Western Barkazal for what is happening to them. Victims are being killed. People not telling the truth about that. And I also want to send respect to our neighboring countries like Kenya, who stood with us. They demonstrated about what is happening in our country, especially the looting of our resources. And I want to salute them because now they even went to demonstrate and told their government to stop those banks who are dealing with South Sudan, because there are money laundering going on, the wealth of South Sudan through the leaders and through other foreign individuals also taking our resources out. I want to salute the people of Kenya, and as a community in East Africa, or as our brothers who stood with us also during the struggle. This is what I want to say. Yeah, the Kalamara there when you
Thank you.
you can go on.
No, and mind you, one is that I'm running out of time. Thank you so much, Teresa, for coming on to add your perspective. Of course, yeah, there is a lot of point that we disagree with the girl, and also we appreciate him for being carried to come here.
Yes, I appreciate. Yes, I appreciate. That's why I say he, as a young politician, I don't have anything against him, but some of his answers were superficial. يعني كلام أجوبة سطحية ده ما بيصل لمرحلة بتاع إنه زول هو عارف بيقول شنو، ممكن خوفا لمنصبه، ده حاجة اللي أنا شايفه يعني.
Thank you, and I really appreciate it for coming on, Teresa, and adding your perspective as well. Hey, you have a wonderful day. So, ya jamaa zaman mashi, ana maar bagale kam zaman nasa, I don't see it there. So let me go ahead and see who's. It looked like we are running out of time actually. So let me see. Let me go ahead. I'm trying to get you, Matthew Mayan, but it looked like the time is over. If you can make just, a few on that short period, that would be so great. I hope your network will work, but if it's not, it's okay. We can go ahead and conclude. So I know that I don't have a lot of time left, but I have a few minutes. But because you waited for so long, I have to bring you in. Go ahead with your perspective, brother. Hello? Do you hear me, Matthew? Matthew Mayan?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you, brother.
I want you to hear your perspective because we don't have time. It's gonna block out.
My question is this: what do you think, people, about the implementation of a peace agreement in South Sudan?
Are you asking a question or you want to add your perspective? Because I call you so you can add your perspective.
No, as you are discussing, I'm just asking for the question.
And what was the question again?
The question is, how do you think about the peace process implementation in South Sudan?
And that's why we are talking. So that's why everybody's coming to give their perspective. So are you trying to interview me or what is the deal here?
Yeah, the deal here, I think that maybe if the peace will be implemented, according to your views.
Well, that's good. So because we have different ideas. Some people will say that because giving the historic background, we are likely we're going to run into the problem. And some people are optimistic. I am for peace, and I want this peace to be implemented. That's what I want. And I want it to be inclusive. I want them, to include those who are still outside.
Okay. For example, which party is outside now?
You know that who are outside, brother. You know that Paul Malong is outside. You know Cheryl outside. You know Hakim Dario outside. Those are the people that we are talking about. And for joining me, I'm going to go because I wanted to give you an opportunity so you can add your voice. But
thank you.
It was a question. But next time, come on and add your perspective. I will thank everybody who participated today. It was a long day. Thank you so much, my dear viewers of Concerned Citizens of South Sudan. It was good having you on the show to add your perspective. I know that without interacting together and coming together and talking about the issue pertaining our country, coming together would be difficult. But now we started doing this and having this conversation. It will, shrink the gap, and that's what we need as the young South Sudanese who are concerned, care about our country. Thank you so much one more time, for being part of this program. And please, next week we will have another guest right here. Thank you. Salam. ما في مشكلة.
Free from slavery.